Sorry to Twitch and YouTube and Kick people who were in here earlier. Why is my YouTube dashboard not working? I think there has been a little bit of confusion in the public as to whether or not you have to watch this debate on CNN. You do not. You can watch it right here with us. All right, I'm testing now. Let's see. Chat rate 1, open studio. What? Again, this is the first of 2 debates. There will be another one in September, depending on how tonight's go and whether or not these guys decide they're going to show up for a second one. I think you could have gotten even money up to today as to whether or not Donald Trump was actually going to show up for this debate. But as we head into 9 o'clock Eastern, both men are there and it's happening. 9 o'clock Eastern right now means that the first presidential debate of 2024 is about to begin. Ooh, it's 9 o'clock. It's 9 o'clock Eastern. It's about to begin. It's about to begin. Ever televised debate between a sitting president and a former president. The debate is being run by our friends at CNN, moderated by CNN anchors. But you can watch the debate right here along with us on MSNBC. The debate will be 90 minutes long. There will be no audience. Each candidate's microphone will be muted when it is the other's turn to speak. When the debate ends, me and my colleagues will be right here with reaction and analysis and a bunch of very special guests. We will have every second of the debate right here. So plan to stay with us for the duration. Here we go. And now so I can't stream the image of it, Jaden. I will risk getting in a lot of trouble. CNN was very, very clear about this. So what I'm trying to do instead is I'm streaming the audio from the MSNBC stream. So we're going to see how this goes. You know? I'm trying to record it. However, damn. All right, fuck you, dude. Oh dear, enlightened. It will be difficult to understand. There is no studio audience tonight. Pre-written notes, props, or contact with campaign staff are not permitted during the debate. By accepting our invitation to debate, both candidates and their campaigns agreed to accept these rules. Now, please welcome the 46th President of the United States. Oh my God. I didn't. Okay, let's see. Let's see if I can maybe sneak you guys a little look in the background. Oh, TikTok. I can do it on my others, but I can't do it on TikTok. Let me see. Oh, Lord. Trump just came. Oh, God. What a disgusting, disgusting man. There we go. How do we like that? TikTok. Yeah, it's on YouTube, Mark. It's like yeah. I mean, not everywhere. You can't get it through like normal streamers, like individual streamers. It's on YouTube though. Sorry, I'm trying to like move this out of the way because it's so fucking. In the reflection of my glasses, like the guys do for boxing. Is that how they do that? Let's see if this doesn't. Let's hopefully not. Hopefully this won't get me like banned. It's not. It's just not in the background, you know. I don't know what I'm talking about.
In addition to that, we're in a situation where if you take a look at all that was done in his administration, he didn't do much at all. By the time he left, things were in chaos.
What's up, Ben?
Chaos. And so we put things back together. We created, I said, those jobs. We make sure we had a situation where we brought down the price of prescription drugs.
I don't know. What are the chances
to $15
Trump shits his pants on stage?
As opposed to $400. No senior has to pay more than $200 for any drug, all the drugs they can conclude beginning next year. And the situation is we're going to make that available to everyone.
It just started, Ben.
All Americans. So we're working to bring down the price around the kitchen table, and that's what we're going to get done.
Thank you, President Trump.
We have the greatest economy in the history of our country. We have never done so well. Everybody was amazed by it. Other countries were copying us. We got hit with COVID, and when we did, we spent the money necessary so we wouldn't end up in a Great Depression, the likes of which we had in 1929. By the time we finished, so we did a great job. We got a lot of credit for the economy, a lot of credit for the military.
The Great Depression, the likes of which we had in 1929. Look at Trump trying to pretend like he knows history.
Getting us out of that COVID mess. He created mandates that was a disaster for our country.
The Great Depression. In case you didn't know, that happened in 1929.
The stock market actually was higher than pre-COVID, and nobody thought that was even possible.
Enlightened, I will ban you.
For illegal immigrants and bounce back jobs, the bounce back from the COVID. He has not done a good job. He's done a poor job in inflation.
Exactly, Jer.
It is absolutely killing us.
Thank you, President Biden.
Well, look, the greatest economy in the world. He's the only one who thinks that, I think. I don't know anybody else who thinks the greatest economy in the world. And, you know, the fact of the matter is that we find ourselves in a situation where his economy, he rewarded the wealthy. He had the largest tax cut in American history, $2 trillion. He raised a deficit larger than any president has in any one term. He's the only president other than Herbert Hoover who's lost more jobs than he had when he began, since Herbert Hoover. The idea that he
Trump looks nervous.
And the military, when he was president, they were still killing people in Afghanistan. He didn't do anything about that. When he was president, we were still found ourselves in a position where you had a notion that we were this safe country. Truth is, I'm the only president this century that doesn't have this decade, that doesn't have any troops dying anywhere in the world like he did.
President Trump, I want to follow up if I can.
Am I allowed to respond to him?
Well, I'm going to ask you a follow-up.
I'm breathing fast.
The minute that we give you. I want to follow up. You want to
That makes sense.
10% tariff on all goods.
I have a thing that makes me bad at oxygenating my own blood.
Not going to drive Ohio.
So.
It's going to cost countries that have been ripping us off for years, like China and many others.
That's not surprising to hear.
It's going to just force them to pay us a lot of money, reduce our deficit tremendously, and give us
Tremendously.
a lot of power for other things. But he made a statement. The only thing he was right about is I gave you the largest tax cut in history. I also gave you the largest regulation cut in history. That's why we had all the jobs. And the jobs went down and then they bounced back, and he's taking credit for bounce back jobs. You can't do that. He also said he inherited 9% inflation. No, he inherited almost no inflation, and it stayed that way for 14 months.
Tremendous.
And then it blew up under his leadership because they spent money like
He's like not.
what they were doing, and they don't know what they were doing. It was the worst, probably the worst administration in history. There's never been. And as far as Afghanistan is concerned, I was getting out of Afghanistan, but we're getting out with dignity, with strength, with power.
He started like 10 sentences.
In the history of our country's life.
President Trump, over the last 8 years, under both of your administrations, the national debt...
He's like, he was right. I gave you the big tax cuts, the biggest tax cuts. And he's like, yeah, well, he said you gave the rich the biggest tax cuts.
So far, President Biden, you've approved $4.3 trillion in new debt.
Jerry,
Many of the tax
don't you
cuts
dare.
signed into law are set to expire next year. You want to extend them and go even further, you say. With the U.S. facing trillion-dollar deficits and record debt, Why should top earners and corporations pay even less in taxes than they do now?
Because the tax cuts spurred the greatest economy that we've ever seen just prior to COVID. And even after COVID, it was so strong that we were able to get through COVID.
Strong for
much
who,
better
dude?
than just about any other country. But we spurred, that tax spurred. Now, when we cut the taxes, as an example, the corporate taxes.
Kanye, no, dude.
From 39% plus beyond that. We took in more
Bro.
revenue with much less tax, and companies were bringing back trillions of dollars back into our country.
Homeboy's like openly
Was going like
anti-Semitic. You're really gonna
and we were ready to start paying down debt.
make
We were
jokes
ready to
like
start using the liquid gold right under our feet.
Biden's
We were
fine.
getting gas right under our feet. We were going to have something that nobody else has had. We got hit with COVID. We did a lot to fix
Trump
that.
is
We had
babbling.
an unbelievable situation with all of the therapeutics and all of the things that we came up with. We gave him something great. Remember, more people died
Agreed, D.
under his administration, even though we had largely fixed it. More people died under his administration than our administration, and we were right in the middle of it. Something which a lot of people don't like to talk about. But he had far more people dying
No,
in his
blood.
administration. He did the mandate, which is a disaster, mandating it. The vaccine went out, he did a mandate on the vaccine, which is the thing that people most objected to about the vaccine. And he did a very poor job, just a very poor job. And I will tell you, not only poor there, but throughout the entire world, we're no longer respected as a country. They don't respect our leadership. They don't respect the United States anymore. We're like a third world nation.
Yeah, because we elected you, dude. That's why they fucking think this country's garbage.
He's done. We've become like a third world nation. And it's
Thank
a
you, Jerry,
shame.
but I can't run
The
for
damage
president
he's done to our
of the
country.
United States because
And
I was not born
will
here.
ask him, and will, why he allowed millions of people to come in here from prisons, jails, and mental institutions to come into our country and destroy our country.
President Trump, we will get to immigration later in this block. President Biden, I
Jesus.
want to give you an opportunity to respond to this question about the national debt.
He had the largest national debt of any president in a 4-year period, number one. Number two, that $2 trillion tax cut benefited the very wealthy. What I'm going to do is fix the tax system. For example, we have 1,000 trillionaires in America. I mean, billionaires in America. And what's
Uh-oh.
happening?
I used
We're in a
43%
situation
more
where
electricity
they
this
have
week.
to pay
Shit.
8.2% taxes. If they just paid 24%, 25%, either one of those numbers, they've raised $500 billion, I should say, in a 10-year period. We'd be able to
Okay,
wrap
cool.
around this debt, we'd
Yvonne,
be able to help
you be
make sure that
prez.
all those things we need to do, child care, elder care, making sure that we continue to strengthen our healthcare system, making sure that we're able to make every single solitary person
I agree with that, Jerry.
eligible for what I've been able to do with the with the COVID. Excuse me, with dealing with everything we have to do with. Look, if we finally beat Medicare.
Thank you, President Biden. President Trump?
No.
Well, he's right, he did beat Medicare, he beat it to death, and he's destroying Medicare. Because all of these people are coming in, they're putting them on Medicare, they're putting them on Social Security, they're gonna destroy Social Security. This man is going to single-handedly
Oh, yeah,
destroy
intro there.
Social Security. These millions and millions of people coming in, they're trying to put them on Social Security. He will wipe out Social Security, he will wipe out Medicare. So he was right in the way he finished that sentence, and it's a shame. What's happened to our country in the last 4 years is not to be believed. The foreign countries, I'm friends
Yeah,
with
that
a
was
lot of
not
people.
good.
They cannot believe what happened to the United States of America. We're no longer respected.
He needs the drugs
They
that
don't
Trump is
love
on.
us. We give them everything they want, and they
Trump, who
they think we're
famously
stupid. They think
is
we're very stupid people. What we're doing for
doing
other
lines
countries,
left and
they
right.
do
I'm
nothing
sure he
for us.
did.
What this man has done
Trump is definitely nervous.
absolutely criminal.
Thank you, President Trump. Dana?
This is the first presidential election since.
No, same old, but there's one that's definitely better than the other.
On yet another abortion case, temporarily allowing emergency abortions to continue in Idaho, despite that state's restrictive ban. Former President Trump, you take credit for the decision to overturn Roe v. Wade, which returned the issue of abortion to the states.
Correct.
However, the federal government still plays a role in whether or not women have access to abortion pills. They're used in about 2/3 of all abortions.
Madrid, Yvonne.
As president, would you block abortion medication?
First of all, the Supreme Court just approved the abortion bill, and I agree with their decision to have done that. and I will not block it.
And I will not blog it. You can't blog it, dude. That's not how
complex, but not really
executive
complex. 51
powers
years ago,
work.
You had Roe v. Wade, and everybody wanted to get it back to the states.
Yeah, no,
Without
you're talking about,
exception, Democrats, Republicans, liberals,
oh my God, what's his
conservatives,
face?
everybody wanted it back. Religious leaders. And what I did is I put 3 great Supreme Court justices on the court, and they happened to vote in favor of killing Roe v. Wade and moving it back to the states. This is something that everybody wanted.
No, it isn't.
So they
Stop
said
lying.
how many weeks and how many
Fact
weeks
check
to get
him.
into other things, but every legal scholar throughout the world, the most respected, wanted it brought back to the states. I did that. Now the states are working it out. If you look at Ohio, it was a decision that was an end result that was a little bit more liberal than you would have thought. Kansas, I would say the same thing. Texas is different. Florida is different. But they're all making their own decisions right now.
Yeah,
Right
Blythe.
now, the
was like the
states
first
control it.
thing.
That's the vote of the people. Like Ronald Reagan, I believe in the exceptions. I am a person that believes. And frankly, I think it's important to believe in the exceptions. Some people, you have to follow your heart. Some people don't believe in that. But I believe in the exceptions for rape, incest, and the life of the mother. I think it's very important.
Oh, you do now?
Follow your heart. But
Wow,
have to
you
get
changed.
elected Also. And because that has to
15
do with
years
other
ago,
things. You gotta
Yvonne.
get elected. The problem they have is they're radical because they will take the life of a child in the 8th month, the 9th month, and even
No.
after birth. After birth.
Stop
If you look at the
lying.
former
Fact
governor
check
of Virginia,
him.
He was willing to do this. He said, we'll put the baby aside and we'll determine what we do with the baby, meaning we'll kill the baby.
What?
Brought it back to the States.
Why aren't they
The countries
fact checking
now
him?
coming
They said
together on this
they
issue.
said that there would be on-screen fucking fact checking. Come the fuck on.
Terrible thing, what you've done. The fact is that the vast majority of constitutional scholars supported Roe when it was decided. Supported Roe. And that's this idea that they're all against it is just ridiculous. And this is the guy who says the state should be able to have it. We're in a state where in 6 weeks, you don't even know whether you're pregnant or not, but you cannot see a doctor, and have him decide on what you're.
They just lied. Well, Trump just lied. Trump just fucking spewed a shit ton of lies, like demonstrable fucking lies.
Back to the states, that each state have a different rule.
I know, no one's surprised that Trump lied, but like they were supposed to be getting fact checked.
And he
This is literally why CNN was like, we don't want streamers to be streaming this and adding their own fucking commentary. They're like, don't you fucking worry, we're gonna handle like fact checking and stuff live. I'm not seeing any fucking fact checks on these numbers that he pulled out of his literal ass.
brothers and sisters by it's just ridiculous, and they can do nothing about it, and then try to arrest them when they cross state lines.
Thank you.
Yeah, CNN is hosting the debate.
There have been many young women murdered by the same people he allows to come across our border. We have a border that's the most dangerous place anywhere in the world, considered the most dangerous place anywhere in the world. And he opened it up, and these killers are coming into our country, and they are raping and killing women. And it's a terrible thing. As far as the abortion is concerned, it is now back with the states.
Except
The states have-
you don't believe when women
in many cases,
are raped.
it's
In fact, you
a
rape them.
liberal decision. In many cases, it's the opposite. But they're voting, and it's bringing it back to the vote of the people, which is what everybody wanted, including the founders.
Yep,
if they knew
Jerry.
about this issue, which
Literally, Trump is gonna get me banned.
Everybody wanted brought back. Ronald Reagan wanted it brought back. He wasn't able to get it. Everybody wanted it brought back. Many
God.
presidents had tried to get it back. I was the one to do it. And again, this gives it the vote of the people, and that's where they wanted it. Every legal scholar wanted it that way.
No!
Staying on the topic of abortion, President Biden, 7 states, I'll let you do that, this is the same topic. 7 states.
They're just letting him lie. They're not fact checking him.
On how far into a pregnancy
Fucking
a woman
CNN. What a
can obtain
fucking
abortion.
disgrace, dude.
Do you support
What an
any
absolute
limits
disgrace.
on how late a woman should be able to terminate a pregnancy?
I supported Roe v. Wade, which had 3 trimesters. First time is between the woman and the doctor. Second time is between the doctor and an extreme situation. The third time is between the doctor, between the woman and the state. The idea that the politicians, that the founders wanted the politicians to be the ones making decisions about women's health is ridiculous. That's the last, no politician should be making that decision. A doctor should be making those decisions. That's how it should be run. That's what you're going to do. And if I'm elected, I'm going to restore Roe v. Wade.
So that means he can take the life of the baby in the 9th month and even
No.
after birth, because because some states, Democrat run, take it after birth. Again, the former governor of Virginia.
What the fuck?
Put the baby down
Why
to
is he
the
fucking lying?
So he's willing to, as we say, rip the baby out of the womb in the
No.
next month and kill the baby.
He's lying.
Wants that to happen. Democrats
He's lying.
wants it to happen.
That is simply not true. The Roe v. Wade does not provide for that. That's not the circumstance. Only the woman's life is in danger, she's going to die. That's the only circumstance in which that can happen. But we are not for late-term abortion, period. Period, period.
Under Roe v. Wade, you have late-term abortion. You can do whatever you want.
He looks horrified because Trump is just fucking lying.
I think that's a good thing. We think it's a radical
Like, here's the problem with the way they're fucking running this.
thing. Republicans.
For 51 years.
Exactly, Illuvium. I don't know. Why the fuck aren't they calling him on it? The problem is, I know, right, Amir? It's really disappointing.
Takes credit for taking it away. What's he going to do?
The problem is,
In fact, if the
Biden has to spend all his fucking time fact-checking him. You know what I mean? Like, he can't even, like, debate the guy properly because he's got to either just, like, let him lie unchecked or spend all his time fucking fact-checking him and correcting his lies. He doesn't get to make, like, fucking... This is... What the fuck are the moderators doing?
On your watch. Overwhelming border states and overburdening cities such as New York and Chicago, and in some cases causing real safety and security concerns. Given that, why should voters trust you to solve this crisis?
What a fucking disaster.
It's very hard to get a bipartisan agreement that not only changed all of that, but made sure that we are in a situation where you had no circumstance where they could come across the border with the number of border police there are now. We significantly increased the number of asylum officers. Significantly, by the way, the Border Patrol endorsed me, endorsed my position. In addition to that, we found ourselves in a situation where, when he was president, he was separating babies from their mothers, putting them in cages, making sure that the families are separated. That's not the right way to go. What I've done since I've changed the law.
I agree, Cinnamon, but the problem is, he's also, I will say, at the beginning, Biden was coughing, so I think he sounds even fucking older because he's sick.
When he left office. And I'm going to continue to move until we get the total ban on the total initiative relative to what we can do with more border patrol and more asylum officers.
President Trump?
I really don't know what he said at the end of that sentence. I don't think he knows what he said either. Look.
Jesus, Trump, be a fucking grown-up for once in your life.
All he was leaving. All he had to do was leave it. He decided to open up our border, open up our country to people that are from prisons, people that are from mental institutions, insane asylum, terrorists. We have the largest number of terrorists coming into our country right now. All terrorists, all over the world, not just in South America, all over the world. They come from the Middle East, everywhere. All over the world, they're pouring in. And this guy just left it open. And he didn't need legislation because I didn't have legislation. I said, close the border. We have the safest border in history. In that final couple of months of my presidency, we had, according to Border Patrol, who is great, and by the way, who endorsed me for president. But
The final couple of months of his presidency, here's the fun thing. When Trump became president, border crossings actually increased. They only went down in the last few months of his presidency, like the last year, because COVID was in full fucking force. That's the only reason they started to slow down. I'm gonna fact check this because CNN isn't. Let's fucking fact check it. Like, Jesus.
Al-Qaeda person come in and his administration killed 3 American soldiers. That's the only terrorist that's there. I'm not saying that no terrorists ever got through, but the idea they're emptying their prisons, we're welcoming these people. That's simply not true. There's no data to support what he said. Once again, he's exaggerating, he's lying.
President Trump, staying on the topic of immigration, you said
CNN is such fucking garbage.
Deportation operation in American history, unquote. Does that mean that you will deport every
I don't know, Cinnamon.
in America, including
Honestly, I think any voter that's undecided right now is
our citizens
actually just a fucking Trump voter who's embarrassed.
And just 1 second, he said we killed 3 people. The people we killed are al-Baghdadi and Soleimani, the 2 greatest
What?
terrorists, biggest terrorists anywhere
What are
in
you
the world.
fucking talking about,
That had a
dude?
huge impact on everything, not just border, on everything. He's the one that killed people with the bad water, including hundreds of thousands of people dying and also killing our citizens when they come in. We
Okay.
are living right now
He's
in a rat's
panicking.
nest. They're killing our people in New York, in California, and every state in the union, because we don't have borders anymore. Every state is now a border. And because of his ridiculous, insane, and very stupid policies, people are coming in and they're killing our citizens at a level that we've never seen. We call it migrant crime. I call it Biden migrant crime. They're killing our citizens at a level that we've
He's
never
fumbling.
seen before. And you're reading it.
See, Alluvium?
These three incredible young girls over the last few days.
I know, right, Cinnamon?
One of them, I just spoke to the mother, and they just had the funeral for this girl, 12 years old. This is horrible what's taken place. What's taken place in our country, we're literally an uncivilized country now. He doesn't want it to be. He just doesn't know. He opened the borders. Nobody's ever seen anything like. And we have to get a lot of these people out, or we have to get them out fast, because they're going to destroy our country. Just take a look at where they're living. They're living in luxury hotels in New York City and other places. Our veterans are on the street. They're dying because he doesn't care about our veterans. He doesn't care. He doesn't like the military at all. And he doesn't care about our veterans. Nobody been worse. I had the highest approval rating for veterans taking care
Jesus.
of the VA. He has the worst. He's gotten rid of
Trump
all
is
the things that
panicking. I
I
love
would
this.
enjoy
He got
seeing.
called a liar once, and now he's panicking, and he's just fucking
They abandoned.
fumbling.
We had by far the highest, and now it's down in less than half because he's done all these great things that we did, and I think he did it just because I approved it, which is crazy. But he has killed so many people at our border by
Thank you,
allowing
President
all of these people to come in. And
President
it's a
Biden.
very sad day in America.
President Biden, you have the mic.
Every single thing he says is a lie. Every single one. For example,
Good. Make him panic.
a hell of a lot better off since I passed the PACT Act. 1 million of them now have insurance, and their families have it. Their families have it because what happened, whether it was Agent Orange or burn pits, they're all being covered now. And his group opposed that. We're also in a situation where we have great respect for veterans. My son spent a year in Iraq, living right next to one of those burn pits, came back with stage 4 glioblastoma. I was recently in France for D-Day, and I spoke to all about those heroes that died. I went to the World War II cemetery, World War I cemetery, he refused to go to. He was standing with his
Bye,
four-star
Ivan.
general, and he
Ivan.
He said, I don't want to go in there because they're a bunch of losers and suckers. My son was not a loser, he was not a sucker. You're the sucker, you're the loser.
President Trump.
Yeah, make him
First of all,
panic.
That was a
Make him
made-up quote, suckers and losers. They made it up. It was in a third-rate magazine that's failing, like many of these magazines. He made that up. Put it in the commercials. We've notified
Jesus.
him. We had 19 people that said I didn't say it. And think of this.
We had 19 people that said I didn't say it. Cool. Well, I say you did. I got fucking 30 that say you did.
Better care. I'm so glad
Now
he said
what?
it. And he brought it up. There's nobody that's taken better care of our soldiers than I have. To think that I would, in front of generals and others, say suckers and losers. We have 19 people.
Love
that
this.
said it
He
was
panics.
by me.
This is what Biden needs to do. He needs to fucking...
Russia was made up, just like the 51 intelligence agents are made up, just like the new thing with the 16
I can't cacti. I'll get banned.
51 intelligence agents said that the laptop was Russian disinformation. It wasn't. That came from his son Hunter. It wasn't Russia disinformation. He made up.
Yeah, cacti, because I'll get banned if I actually, like, restream it. That's the problem. CNN was very clear about this. So right now, it just happens to be on in the background.
Number two, the idea that I have to apologize to you for anything along the line. We've done more for veterans than any president has in American history. And they now are in their family. The only sacred obligation we have as a country is to care for our veterans when they come home and their families and equip them when they go to war. That's what we're doing. That's what the VA is doing now. They're doing more for veterans than ever before in our history.
All right, thank you so much.
Yeah, I don't know, Steven. That's the fucking thing that I keep screaming.
War against Ukraine, which
Yeah, right,
is now
Autumn?
in its third year. Former
Hi,
President
Robot.
Trump, Russian President
I agree,
Vladimir
Robot.
Putin says he'll only end this war if Russia keeps the Ukrainian territory it has already claimed,
Chair.
and if Ukraine abandons its bid to join NATO. Are Putin's terms acceptable to you?
First of all, our veterans and our soldiers can't stand this guy. They can't stand him. They think he's
Jesus.
the worst commander-in-chief, if that's what you call him, that we've ever had. They can't stand him. So let's get that straight. and they like me more than just about any of them.
I don't know,
And that's
Luvium.
based on every single bit of information. As far as Russia and Ukraine, if we had
Yeah, I
a
smirked at the
president
kangaroo
that
thing.
knew, that was respected by Putin, he would have never invaded Ukraine. A lot of people are dead right
What?
now, much more than people know. You know, they
What?
talk
Oh, I
about
love that
Russia could
Biden's
double
also
those numbers,
laughing.
maybe triple those numbers. He did nothing to stop it. In fact, I think he encouraged Russia from going in.
What?
I'll tell you what happened. He was so bad with Afghanistan. It was such a horrible embarrassment, most embarrassing moment in the history of our country, that when Putin watched that and he saw the incompetence, that he should have fired those generals like I fired the one that you mentioned, and so he's got no love lost.
Oh, really,
But
Cinnamon?
he should have fired those generals. No general got fired for the most embarrassing moment in the history of our country, Afghanistan, where we left billions of dollars of equipment behind. We lost 13 beautiful soldiers.
Yeah,
38
9:30.
soldiers were obliterated. And by the way, we left people behind too. We left American citizens behind. When Putin saw that, he said, you know what? I think we're going to go in and maybe take my. This was his dream. I talked to him.
Dana, you're whining about state policy. If you think that that's what the presidential debate is about, you should probably not vote because you don't understand how things work.
You know why? Because Iran was broke with me. I wouldn't let anybody do business with them. They ran out of money. They were broke. They had no money for Hamas.
Took
They
what
had
out of
no money for
context?
anything. No money for terror. That's why you had no terror at all during my administration.
Trump keeps like rambling. He keeps rambling. Like, yeah, look, I'm frustrated with Biden in this right now, but let's not act like Trump is somehow
The last point first.
cleaning the floor with him. Like,
Attacked American
Trump keeps rambling, and the more he like panics, the more he just jumps from subject to subject. Like, Trump did a couple of lines before the debate,
They're just having headaches.
which like sure makes him act a lot more spirited and stuff, but like homeboy, like you can see when it's
We
like,
got over 100,000 Americans and others out of
what happened to Hillary?
during that airlift. Number three, we found ourselves in a situation where
The problem is Steven also,
Trump did in Ukraine. This guy told Trump, do whatever you want, do whatever you want, and that's exactly what Trump did. To Putin.
oh I know, Cinnamon, I agree.
And he went in. And listen to what he said. When he went
Yeah,
in.
enlightened.
We're gonna take
I wasn't
Kyiv
born
in 5
yesterday. I
days.
live in New York City for 15
It's
years.
the Soviet Union. That's what he wanted to reestablish, Kyiv. And he, in fact, didn't do it at all. He wasn't able to get it done. And they've lost thousands and thousands of troops, 500,000 troops.
President Trump,
I
I'm
never
gonna come
said
back to you
that.
for 1 minute. I just want to
I never
go back to
said
my
that.
original question, which is, are Putin's terms acceptable to you? Keeping the territory in Ukraine.
No, they're not acceptable. But look, this is a war that never should have started. If we had a leader in
Yes,
this
Yvonne.
war,
I
he
moved
led
to
everybody along.
New York for
He's
college,
given
and I stayed here.
$200 billion now or more to Ukraine. He's given $200 billion. That's a lot of money. I don't think there's ever been anything like it. Every time that Zelensky comes to this country, he walks away with $60 billion. He's the greatest salesman ever. And I'm not knocking him. I'm not knocking anything. I'm only saying.
Where's the fucking fact
the money
checking,
that we're
CNN?
spending on this war, and we should have
Oh,
spent-
God.
It should have never happened. I will have that war.
I am?
settled
Just one?
between
Just
Putin
once?
And Zelensky as president-elect before I take office on January 20th. I'll have that war settled. People being
I'll have that
killed
war settled.
so needlessly, so stupidly, and I will get it settled, and I'll get it settled fast before I take office.
You'll hand it over to Putin,
President Biden, you have a minute.
your owner, your
The
handler.
fact is that Putin is a war criminal. He's killed thousands and thousands of people.
Yeah,
And
right,
he's
Otto?
100% clear.
His
He
fucking
wants
buddy.
to reestablish what was part of the Soviet Empire, not just a piece. He wants all of Ukraine. That's what he wants. And then you think he'll stop there? You think he'll stop when if he takes Ukraine? What do you think happens to Poland? What do you think of Belarus? What do you think happens to those NATO countries? And so if you want a war, you ought to find out what he's going to do.
He keeps avoiding questions and he keeps lying, user. And no one's fact checking him. CNN isn't doing its job. They're not fact checking him. So Biden has to, like, every fucking question, Trump gets to just, like, spew bullshit. And then Biden has to make the choice of either fact checking him, spending all of his time fact checking him, calling out his lies, rather than making an actual fucking point, or letting his lies sit, not challenging them, and, like, trying to make a point. Like, this has gotten away from them completely.
Are 5 Americans.
Fucking CNN should never have fucking done this. CNN is failing. They're not fact-checking shit. They're not moderating shit. They're like,
You've put forward a proposal to resolve this conflict, but so far Hamas has not released the remaining hostages, and Israel is continuing its military offensive in Gaza. So what additional leverage will you use to get Hamas and Israel to end the war? You have 2 minutes.
Number one. everyone
yeah, Trump keeps
from
coming up with
the United
excuses,
Nations
Debbie.
Security Council, straight through to the G7.
Exactly, Stephen.
Netanyahu himself have endorsed the plan they put forward.
It is a deliberate tactic. Oh, it's all super deliberate.
The first stage is
It's gone completely off the fucking...
hostages for a ceasefire. Second phase is a ceasefire with additional conditions. The third phase is the end of the war. The only one who wants
Oh, he's absolutely dodging questions.
Number one. They're
Yeah.
gonna stand down.
He keeps, and he's like, and then one thing, and he like,
Get them to accept.
yeah, I know, J-Dog, and you can fucking tell.
In Israel, we're trying to say the only thing I've denied Israel was 2,000-pound bombs. They don't work in well-populated areas. They kill a lot of innocent people. We're providing Israel with all the weapons they need and when they
Gish
need them.
Gallop.
And by the way, I'm the guy that organized the world against Iran when they had a full-blown intercontinental ballistic missile attack.
Yeah,
on
right,
Israel.
Autumn?
No one was hurt. No one Israeli was accidentally killed, and it just stopped. We saved Israel. We are the biggest producer of support for Israel of anyone in the world. And so they're two different things. Hamas cannot be allowed to be continued. We continue to send our experts and our intelligence people as to how they can get Hamas like we did bin Laden. You don't have to do it. And by the way, they've been greatly weakened, Hamas. Greatly weakened, and they should be. They should be eliminated. But you've got to be careful for using certain weapons among population centers.
Let's go back to Ukraine for 1 second. We have an ocean
Yeah,
separating
Trump.
us. The European nations together have spent 100 billion, or maybe more than that, less than us.
Trump just throws out random fucking numbers all the time.
Like I did with NATO. I got them to put up hundreds of billions of dollars. The Secretary General.
It's always hundreds of billions, always.
Job I've ever seen. You wouldn't
Every
get
time he
that
said a
if they
number,
were going out of business. We
except for
spent
that first one
almost
where he was
100%
like,
of the money was
1929.
He didn't do that. He's
Thanks for
saying,
the
well,
follow,
you
Des.
gotta ask these people to put up the money. We're over $100 billion
Oh, shit.
spent, and it has
Sorry,
zero
thank you
impact
for the
on them
heart me,
because of
Jerry.
location, because we have an ocean in between.
Sorry,
You
guys.
gotta ask them as far as
Thanks for the follow, Steven.
Israel and Hamas.
I'm also on Twitch
Israel's the one that
and
wants to. He
Kick
said
and
the only one who
YouTube
wants to keep
now.
going is Hamas. Actually,
Thank you
Israel
for
is
the
one,
garland,
and you should
Jerry.
Let him go and let him finish the job. He doesn't want to do it.
Let him
He's
finish the
become
job. There you
a
go.
Palestinian, but they don't like him because he's a very bad Palestinian. He's a weak one.
President Biden, you have a minute.
What?
I've never heard so much foolishness. This is a guy who wants to get out of NATO. Are you going to stay in NATO? Are you
Brandon,
gonna
get
follow
out of here.
NATO? The idea that we have, our strength lies in our alliances as well. It may be a big ocean, but we're ever able to avoid a war in Europe, a major war in Europe? What happens if, in fact, you have Putin continue to go into NATO? We have an Article 5 agreement. Attack on one is attack on all. You want to start the nuclear war he keeps talking about, go ahead. Let Putin go in and control Ukraine and then move on to Poland and other places. What happens then? He has no idea what the hell he's talking about. And by the way, I got 50 other nations around the world to support Ukraine, including Japan and South Korea, because they understand that this kind of dislocation has a serious threat to the whole world peace. No major war in Europe has ever been able to be contained just to Europe.
President Trump, just to follow up.
Good night.
Would you support the creation
I'm cool with
of an
people who
independent
disagree. As you know, I don't abide by misinformation. So if people are in here spreading and doubling down on misinformation, we can block them. I'm not even going to bother giving them a fucking... They've got enough of a platform tonight.
With the European nations. Because if you add them up, they're about the same size economically. Their economy is about the same size as the United States. And they will no cars, they don't want anything that we have. But we're supposed to take their cars, their food, their everything, their agriculture. I changed that. But the big thing I changed is they don't want to pay. And the only reason that he can play games with NATO is because I got them to put up hundreds of billions of dollars. I said, and he's right about this, I said, no, I'm not going to support NATO if you don't pay. They asked me that question, would you guard us against Russia? At a very secret meeting of the 28 states at that time, nations at that time. And they said, no, if you don't pay, I won't do that. And you know what happened? Billions and billions of dollars came flowing in the next day and the next week. But now we're in the same position. We're paying everybody's bills.
Let's turn to the issue
Yeah,
of
Kay Skeeter,
democracy.
exactly.
Former President Trump, I want to ask you about January 6,
I'm frustrated, Logan on YouTube. Hey, Steven, thank you for the tiny diner. Thank you, Enlightened. I just invited my mom to join the live. She's watching this too. We're texting about it. Every time I hear hundreds of billions, take a drink. Shit, I need to be drinking.
Well, I don't think too many believe that. And let me tell you about January 6th.
Yeah, tell us about January 6th.
January 6th, we had a great border. Nobody coming through, very few. On January 6th, we were energy independent. On January 6th, we had the lowest taxes ever. We had the lowest regulations ever. On January 6th, we were respected all over
With the lowest regulations ever, you know what? That's a fucking problem.
And then he comes in, and we're now laughed at. We're like a bunch of stupid people. What happened to the United States' reputation under this man's leadership is horrible, including weaponization, which I'm sure at some point you'll be talking about.
What
He goes
weaponization?
after his political opponent because he can't beat him fair and square.
What? Biden? What?
My question was, what do you say to
Trump,
those
Mr.
voters who believe
Project
that you
2025?
violated your
Okay.
constitutional
Okay.
oath through your
Jesus
actions and
Christ.
inaction on January 6, 2021, and worry that you'll do it again?
Well, I didn't say that to anybody.
My mom's in here, guys. Say hi to my mom.
And Nancy Pelosi, if you just watched the news from 2 days ago, on tape to her daughter, who's a documentary filmmaker, they say, but she's saying, oh no, it's my responsibility, I was responsible for this, because I offered her 10,000 soldiers or National Guard, and she turned them down, and the mayor of, in writing, by the way, the mayor, in writing, turned it down, the mayor of D.C., they turned it down. I offered 10,000 because I could see, I had...
My mother didn't give up her maiden name, Sonny. What do you think this is?
Everybody was saying they're going to be there on January.
Patriarchy?
And I said, you know what? That's a lot of people coming. You could feel it. You could feel it too, and you could feel it. And I said, they ought to have some.
Arnie
National
Lowfield.
Guard or whatever.
Oh, I get it.
And I offered it to her, and she now admits that she.
That's
turned
not her
it
name,
down.
guys.
And it was the same
Just
day
FYI.
she was, I don't know, you can't be very happy with her daughter because it made her into a liar. She said, I take full
Yeah.
responsibility for January 6th.
What?
President Biden?
Jesus Christ, Trump.
He encouraged those folks to go to the Capitol Hill, number one. I sat in the dining room off the Oval Office. He sat there for 3 hours watching, being begged by his vice president and a number of his colleagues on the Republican side as well to do something, to call for
What, that everyone treats you guys like idiots? Yeah, he is right about that. 80s.
and great patrons of
That everyone laughs at you guys
he says he
like
wants
stupid
to
people?
do it.
Yeah, he's right about that.
They've been convicted. He says he wants to commute their sentences and say that, no, he went to every single court in the nation. I don't know how many cases, scores of cases, including the Supreme Court. And they said, no, this guy is responsible for doing what was done. He didn't do a damn thing. And these people should be in jail. And they should be the ones who are being held accountable. And he wants to let them all out. And now he says that he loses again, such a whiner that he is, that there could be a bloodbath.
I don't fucking know, Steven. Did he murder the fact checker?
Some people that are so innocent, you ought to be ashamed of yourself. What you have done, how you've destroyed the lives of so many people.
Oh my
When
god.
they ripped down Portland, when they ripped down...
Philippe just texted me, I'm down to move to
many
Madrid,
other
babe.
cities. You go to Minnesota, Minneapolis, what they've done there with the fires all over the city. If I didn't bring in the National Guard, that city would have been destroyed. When you look at all of the... They took over big chunks of Seattle. I was all set to bring in the National Guard. They heard that. They saw them coming, and they left immediately.
Oh, absolutely, it hurts me, 80s NYC.
This
Just,
whole subject is
of course.
so off.
He's a dangerous fucking idiot.
The Unselect Committee, which is basically two horrible Republicans that are all gone now, out of office, and Democrats, all Democrats.
Oh yeah,
they
Tino?
destroyed and deleted
I'm Spanish.
all of the information they found because they found out we were right. We were right. And they deleted and destroyed all of the information. They should go to jail for that. If a Republican did that, they'd go to jail.
Thank you, President Trump.
Just
President
fucking
Biden.
rambling and rambling and
The
rambling.
only person on this stage is a convicted felon, this man I'm looking at right now.
I'm sorry you're a terrible person, 80s NYC.
What he's telling you is simply not true.
You must have had something really rough happen to you that truly
Up in Capitol Hill.
broke something in you, made you feel insecure for your entire life, so insecure that you only find solace in harming other people, and you only feel strength in blustering idiots.
Come on. When I asked him
I'm sorry for
rates we had and
whatever was done to you as a child,
I said, "Will
but you probably deserved it.
Proud Boy?" He said, "No, I'll tell them to stand by."
I know, Barry.
He's refusing
We're
to-
frustrated.
Will you denounce these guys? You denounce the people we're talking about now? You denounce the people who attacked that Capitol? What are you going to do?
I don't know, Chris, but we're all losing. Everyone's losing.
After a jury convicted you of 34
I agree,
felonies
Lynn.
last month, you said if reelected, you would, quote, have every right to go after, unquote, your political opponents. You just talked about members of the select committee on January 6th going to jail. Your main political opponent is standing on stage with you tonight. Can you clarify exactly what it means about you feeling...
Yeah, Linda, well, the problem is Trump is not answering shit. He keeps rambling and rambling and rambling, but he keeps spewing bullshit, and then Biden has to address his lies because there's no fucking fact-checking going on.
His son is a convicted felon at a very high level. His son is convicted, going to be convicted probably numerous other times. Should have been
Logan,
convicted
because
before, but his Justice
because the people who
Department
are
let
80s and
statute of
90s
limitations lapse
putting
on most
themselves into
important
power,
things.
that's why.
But he could be a convicted felon as soon as he gets out of office. Joe could be a convicted felon with all of the things that he's done. He's done horrible things. All of the death
It's so
costs
bad,
at
Plasma, I
the
agree.
border, telling the Ukrainian people that we're going to want $1 billion, or you change the prosecutor, otherwise you're not getting $1 billion. If I ever said that, that's quid pro quo. That we're not going to do anything. We're not going to give you $1 billion unless you change your prosecutor.
I'm
Having
down
to
with
do
the
his
billions.
son. This man is a criminal. This man, you're lucky. You're lucky. I did nothing wrong. We'd have a system that was rigged and disgusting. I did nothing
You know, border
wrong.
crossings actually increased under Trump. Earlier, when he said that they went down in the last couple of months of his presidency, he forgot to mention that it's only because COVID was in full swing then. And no one was trying to come to the U.S. at that point because A, no one could travel, and B, the U.S. was not fucking dealing with it well under Trump.
Just because you're president is wrong. It's simply wrong. No president's ever spoken like that before. No president in our history.
I'm voting for Biden recycled because as much as I don't like him,
You're still charged with
the alternative
civil penalties you have.
is
How many
fucking terrifying.
Millions of dollars do you owe in civil penalties for molesting a woman in public, for doing a whole range of things?
Logan, I mean, that's the, if you, he doesn't have any coherent thought.
That while your wife
Logan on
was
YouTube
pregnant,
is saying he's surprised Trump even has any lies or truth, or even a second of coherent thought when it feels like he talks for an eternity. He just rambles. It's just run-on sentences that never
Number
conclude.
two, that was a case that was started and moved. They moved a high-ranking official at DOJ into the Manhattan DA's office to start that case. That case is going to be appealed and won. We had a very,
Prove it, too kind.
terrible judge, a horrible judge, Democrat. The prosecutor were all high-ranking Democrats, appointed people, and both the civil and the criminal. He basically went after his political opponent.
Patty, if we
because
don't
he
vote for
goes to
either
the
of these
judge
two,
and the
then
public
Trump
found out about
wins,
these cases
and we're
because
all
they
fucked
understood
because
better
Project
than he does.
2025
That's
then
how I
goes
do these
into
cases. But when
action.
they found out about these cases, you
Thanks
know
for
what
the
they did?
follow, guys.
My poll numbers went up way up. You know that because you're reporting it. And we took in more money in the last 2 weeks than we've ever taken in the history of any campaign. I don't think any campaign has ever taken. Hundreds of millions of dollars came pouring in because the public knows it's a scam and it's a guy that's after his political opponent because he can't win fair
Yeah,
and square.
Logan.
Thank you, President Trump. President Biden, you have said, quote, Donald Trump and his MAGA Republicans are determined to destroy American democracy.
Where is the
Do you
fact
believe
checking?
that the tens of millions of
I'm
Americans
so
who are
fucking
likely to vote
done
for President
with
Trump
CNN.
will be voting against
I hope that
American
this
democracy?
fucking destroys them.
What he's done, yes. The more they know about what he's done. And there's a lot more coming. He's got a lot of cases down the road coming out.
Recycled. I don't like either of them either, but like Trump is way fucking worse. So definitely vote for Biden. I know we don't love it, we don't like it, we don't enjoy it. Let's just get the fuck through this.
That I'm going to seek retribution. You ever hear any
That's nice, too
president say
kind. No one
that
cares.
they thought Hitler had some good ideas? What got me involved to run in the first place after my son had
I
died
just
and
finished
decided
my
in
tea.
Iraq because of Iraq.
I need
I said I
booze,
wasn't
dude.
going to run again until I saw
No.
what happened in Charlottesville, Virginia. People coming out of the woods carrying swastikas on torches, and singing the same anti-Semitic bile they sang when back in Germany. And the young woman got killed. I spoke to the mother, and they asked him. They said, "What do you think of those people? The people the ones who got killed, the one who tried to stop it, and the ones," he said, "I think they're fine people on both sides." What American president would ever say Nazis coming out of fields carrying torches, singing the same anti-Semitic bile, carrying swastikas were fine people?
Blink,
This
the
is
Green
guy
Party
says
just
he
splits
wants
the
to do
left.
things. I'd like to know what they
I
are.
almost made a video today
Because
explaining
because
how
he said, this
vote.
guy
I'm
has no
someone who has
sense of
voted third
purpose.
party, mind you. I have voted third party.
Jake, both of you know that it's been totally wiped
Voting
out.
third party doesn't actually
You
fix
see
the two-party
sentence they
system,
said,
because the two-party system is just a
100%
symptom of the actual problem,
so
which
he
is the
just
first
didn't
past the
vote. He
post
says he ran
system.
because of Charlottesville. He didn't run
Voting
because
third
of
party
Charlottesville.
does not
He ran
fix
because
it.
was his
It does the
last
opposite.
chance.
It just
And he's never gonna be
entrenches
president. You know
the
I
powers
know
that be
this is
even
ridiculous.
more,
We have debate.
because
We're trying
all
to
it does is
justify
fucking
his
weaken
presidency.
one of the
His
two parties.
presidency, he's without question the worst president, the worst presidency in the history of our country. We shouldn't be having a debate about it. There's nothing to debate. He made up the Charlottesville story, and you'll see it's debunked all over the place.
I don't have
Every
tequila.
anchor has every reasonable anchor has debunked it. And just the other day it came out where it was fully debunked.
We do.
It's a
Patty.
nonsense story. He
We need
knows
a
that.
parliamentary
He didn't run
system.
because of Charlottesville. He used that as an excuse to run.
President Biden?
And debunk. It happened. All you have to do is listen to what was said at the time. And the idea
Eddie, have
that
you looked at
somehow
Project
someone was-
2025?
I ran because I was worried a guy like this guy could get elected.
If you have and you're
No,
still for it,
they were
then
good people
you
coming
can
out
get
of
the
that
fuck out.
that forest, carrying those woods, carrying those torches.
I
And
agree,
he didn't
Jerry.
deserve to be president. Didn't deserve to be president
I
at
agree,
all.
Mish, but the
Now
two-party
you
system is
he's
not
talking about all
the
this
like
being found.
actual root
We saw it with our own
of
eyes.
the
We
issue.
saw
It's
it
just a
happen in
symptom. The
January.
issue is the
We
first
saw
past
it
the
in
post
the
system.
window.
Voting
We saw
third
it
party
in
does
the
not get
window.
rid, does
He's
not
the
fix the
vice
two-party
president.
system. It just doesn't.
40 of his 44 top cabinet officers refused to endorse him this time. His vice president hasn't endorsed him this time. So why? Why? They
He
know
might
him
have,
well.
Kyle.
They serve with him. Why are they not endorsing him?
Oh, Jesus.
Thank you, President. We're
Recycled.
gonna be right
Can we get rid of
back with more
recycled?
CNN
What are you talking about?
presidential debate.
What the fuck? Are you seriously? You guys are trying to argue that Jan 6 was...
We knew this was going to be a debate like no other.
What the fuck?
Certainly no argument there, at least thus far. We're very glad that you are watching it together with us here at MSNBC. Stay with us right after for reaction and analysis. Again, here at
Absolutely worried about Project 2025.
At the Jeep Make This the Summer event, you can take a vacation from payments on the most capable Wrangler ever. Our most affordable
Lily Stanton,
SUV,
RFK, you mean the
Jeep
worm
open-air pickup, Jeep
parading around
and the most awarded SUV ever,
in a human
Jeep
suit
Grand
calling
Cherokee.
himself a Kennedy?
Your Jeep Grand
I know I've
Cherokee
made that joke
with the
before.
most summer with
I
great
never will
deals
not
on
make that
some
joke
payments for 90 days.
when RFK comes up. Nas.
Well-qualified parentheses of competitive vehicles can lease the 2024 Jeep Grand Cherokee.
He's a wormanitarian, Lily. He can't be humanitarian. He's half worm.
Introducing
I agree, Patty.
psoriasis.
Thank you, Jerry.
This is flaky red patches.
I know, Banana. No. Hi, Joel. It's fucking rough, dude. It's fucking rough.
Tesla can help you get clearer skin and reduce itching and flaking, with no routine blood tests required. Doctors have been prescribing Otezla for over a decade.
The two-party system is not a system that is put in place, guys. The two-party system is the result of a first-past-the-post system. If you want to fix the two-party system, which I agree, I also want to fix, you need to fix the first-past-the-post system.
Thoughts or weight loss, upper respiratory tract infection, and headache may occur.
With clear skin, movie night is a groovy night. Live in the moment. Ask your doctor about Otezla.
It's one of the ways forward, Stephen. I agree. Lily, anyone who votes third party in a first past the post system is dumber than a box of rocks. If you genuinely think that like voting third party is actually going to change anything other than entrenching one of these fucking candidates even further, like, you don't understand how shit works. You do not understand it. And I say this as someone who has voted third party, but I voted third party understanding full well what I was doing. I did not think I was challenging the two-party system, because that's not how you challenge the two-party system. It doesn't do shit to the two-party system. It doesn't, and it never fucking will, because that's not what is like causing the two-party system. It just isn't. Oh, I've educated myself on Bobby. Lily, have you? I'm not kidding about the fucking worm that ate half his brain. Okay, not half. Not half. He had a brain worm that caused brain damage and mercury poisoning. He attested to this under oath in a deposition. RFK Jr. himself said he has brain damage from mercury poison and a brain worm. That's the guy you want? All right. All right, dude. You have brain worm, host? No, squids. I can't run for president because I was not born in the United States, Carolina.
Read, watch, listen to breaking news and analysis anytime, anywhere. Go beyond the what to understand the why.
I agree, Blank, we do.
MSNBC app now.
Yeah, boys. Very disappointed with Biden's performance tonight, but also, like, I don't think Biden's poor performance tonight is a reflection of Trump doing well. Trump is not doing well. Biden is just doing terribly. Unfortunately. Yeah, Lily. I mean, much to my chagrin. I don't like the dude, Lily, but I'm not an idiot. I know how shit works.
And black Americans are imprisoned at 5 times the rate of white Americans.
I've been to D.C., Carolina.
What do you say to black voters who are disappointed that you haven't made more progress?
He's not cooking Biden, Alex. I mean, Biden is doing poorly, but Trump is literally just fucking rambling. He is rambling and making very little sense, and all he's doing is lying. The problem is he's not getting fact-checked.
Number 3, we're trying to find housing for black.
He's not Rustin shit too kind. Can we get rid of too kind? They're annoying. Biden is cooking himself, unfortunately. He is lying, 80s. He's lying. He's said multiple lies. Like, demonstrable lies. He said that, he fucking went on and on about, like, late-term abortions. No one's aborting. No one is having abortions. No one's saying, what did he say? He said, oh, yeah, the doctors are saying, oh, take the kid out and then we'll kill the baby. That's not a fucking thing, dude. That's not a fucking thing. And if that's what you have to say to get people to be, like, to legitimize your anti-choice stance, then your stance is illegitimate. Just straight up. If that's what you have to fucking say to legitimize your stance is illegitimate because it's a fucking lie. And it's such a ridiculous lie. It's like, you guys don't even realize how cartoonish you sound.
You have 49 seconds.
Yeah, exactly, Zen.
What do you say to black voters who are disappointed with the progress so far?
I say I don't blame you for being disappointed.
I mean, people are dying in states every day. People are dying all around the world every day. Exactly, Kyle.
Any black family
Oh, God.
should get a $10,000 tax credit to be able to buy their first home so they can get started. I made sure that we're in a situation where all those black families and those black individuals who had to take out student loans that were ballooning, that if they were engaged in nursing, anything having to do with volunteerism, if they paid their bills for 10 years on their student debt, all the rest is forgiven after 10 years. Millions have benefited from that. And we're going to do a whole lot more for black families.
Thank you, President Trump.
And he caused the inflation. He's blaming inflation, and he's right, it's been very bad. He caused the inflation, and it's killing black families and Hispanic families and just about everybody. It's killing people. They can't buy groceries anymore. They can't. You look at the cost of food where it's doubled, and tripled, and quadrupled. They can't live. They're not living anymore. He caused this inflation. I gave him a country with essentially no inflation. It was perfect. It was so good. All he had to do is leave it alone.
What are you
He
fucking
destroyed it
talking
with this
about?
Green New Scam and all of the other all this money that's being thrown out the window. He caused inflation. As sure as you're sitting there, the
Exactly, Lily.
fact is that his big kill on the black people is the millions of people that he's allowed to come in through the.
How about KK? How about let's start this? Why don't you summarize what Trump is saying right now
20 million
in full
people,
sentences?
They're taking black jobs and they're taking Hispanic jobs, and you haven't seen it yet, but you're going to see something that's going to be the worst in our history.
Thank you. President Biden?
There was no inflation when I became president. You know why? The economy was flat on its back. 50% unemployment. He decimated the economy. Absolutely decimated the economy. That's why there was no inflation at the time. There were no jobs. We provided thousands and millions of jobs for individuals who are in all communities, including minority communities. We made sure that they have health insurance. We have covered, with the ACA has increased. I made sure that.
Okay, let's get some fact checking from New York Times at least, because fucking CNN, what a garbage network.
He wants to eliminate that. They tried 50 times. He wants to get rid of the ACA again, and they're going to try again if they win. We find ourselves in a position.
What a
where
garbage fucking network, CNN.
We put more police on the street than any administration has.
Let's see some New York Times fact checking.
Equity, and making sure people have a shot to make it. There's a lot going on, but in inflation, he caused it by his tremendous malfeasance in the way he handled the pandemic.
Thank you.
See, where are you?
Persistent challenge is the climate crisis. 2023 was the hottest year in recorded history, and communities across.
Quote, he decided to open up our borders, what Trump said. As I pointed out, border crossings actually increased under Trump, and they only went down in the last couple of months of his presidency because of fucking COVID. And he says Biden opened up the borders. He didn't. He just left in place the policies that Trump put in place. So any ballooning of migrants are a result of Trump's policies. This is according to the fucking New York Times. So there you fucking go. And in the last year, Biden administration has put in place restrictions on asylum, as we all know. Wrong. Literally, too kind. Okay. No, he's wrong. Too kind. He's lying. Can someone get rid of the misinformation, please? Enlightened, are you in here? I don't abide by misinformation, too kind. I have sources. You don't. Stop lying out of your ass on my live. I mean, young Brodus, I can pull up the actual fucking sources. How we go? Bye, too kind. Just know you are as inadequate as you feel.
One of the most successful economic development acts ever in the country. Opportunity zones, and the biggest beneficiary are blacks, and that's why
I know, right, Stephen?
we have the best numbers with them in maybe ever. They're saying ever. I read this morning.
Dude,
we're
mods.
ever the best numbers.
Where are my mods?
He's lost.
You're gonna make me do this
much of the
myself.
black population because he's done a horrible
I can't even do
job
it.
for black people. He's also done a horrible job for
Hi, Nick Miller.
Hispanics. But when you see these
Everyone's
millions of
losing,
people
Caroline.
pouring into our country,
We're
they're gonna
losing.
take the jobs, and it's already started, and you haven't seen anything yet. It's a disaster.
You 38 seconds left.
I don't know you,
President
Noah.
Trump, will you take any action as president?
Too kind. I have facts on my side. Stop crying about it.
Absolutely immaculate clean water, and I want absolutely clean air, and we had it. We had H2O. We had the best numbers ever, and we were using all forms of energy,
Good
all
times,
forms, everything.
Sonny.
And yet,
We're all
during
losing.
my
We're
4
all
years, I
fucking
had the
losing.
best environmental numbers ever. And my top environmental people gave me that statistic just before I walked on the
My
stage.
top environmental people gave me that statistic just before I walked on
I
stage.
don't know where the hell he's
Okay.
been. The idea that anything he said is true. I passed the most extensive climate change
No, David, I don't.
in history.
I don't. But it's not because Trump is doing well. It's just because Biden is doing that poorly. Unfortunately, that's fucking terrible for everyone.
They don't have the kind of contributors that they have to build these laboratories and the like. Any black student is capable in college of doing any white student can do.
Lobotomies 2024.
Get those jobs in high tech. We're in a situation where the idea that
Oh yeah, Connie, get the fuck out of here. Don't spread bullshit. We don't abide by misinformation. I don't care if you disagree with me. You don't. We do not abide by misinformation here.
I immediately joined it.
Yeah, Trump has said on multiple occasions he would let Netanyahu finish the job. So
Is climate change, and he didn't do a damn thing about it. He wants to undo all that I've done.
The Paris Accord was going to cost us $1 trillion, and China nothing, and Russia nothing, and India nothing. It was a ripoff of the United States, and I ended it because I didn't want to waste that money because they treat us horribly. We were the only ones. It was costing us money. Nobody else was paying into it, and it was a disaster. But everything that he said just now, I'll give you an example. I heard him say before insulin. I'm the one that got the insulin down for the seniors. I took care of the seniors. What he's doing is destroying all of our medical programs because the migrants coming in, they want everybody. And look, I have the biggest heart on the stage, I guarantee you that. And I want to take care of people. But we're destroying our country. They're taking over our schools, our hospitals, and they're going to be taking over Social Security. He is destroying Social Security, Medicare, and Medicaid.
I don't know, Cornelius, because everything's fundamentally fucking broken.
The idea is that we, in fact, we were...
Your mom, I agree, but, I mean, first of all, we're not going to make fun of someone's speech impediment, firstly. Who do I support? I mean, I am support Biden just because I don't want Project 2025 to go into effect. I don't like the guy. But Project 2025 is a bigger fucking threat than, you know. Aaron, I mean, that's fucking coming from someone who, supports the guy who literally goes on these, like, rambling, run-on sentences. Like, barely connecting thoughts. He just, like, starts spewing things and, like, just rambles on and on. Like, I'm not here to fucking, like, defend Biden's performance tonight because we're all very disappointed with this. But, like, come on. Yeah, he does, Ray Oscar. He absolutely does.
So every day,
he absolutely fucking does, dude.
Just to make ends meet for many older Americans, Social Security
exactly.
critical
Spock.
Lifeline. President Biden, if nothing is done to Social Security, seniors will see their benefits cut.
No, you don't, too kind. Probably dropped out of high school. Or sustained brain damage that basically undid anything you learned afterwards.
To pay their fair share. Right now, everybody making under $170,000 pays 6% of their income, of their paycheck, every single time they get a paycheck from the time of the first one they get when they're 18 years old. The idea that they're going to, I'm proposing that everybody, they pay, the millionaires pay 1%. So no one after, I would not raise the cost of Social Security for anybody under $400,000. After that, I began to make the wealthy begin to pay their fair share by increasing from 1% beyond to be able to guarantee the program for life.
So you still have 82 seconds left. Are there any other measures that you think that would be able to help keep Social Security solvent, or is that one enough?
Well, no, that one enough will keep it solvent, but the biggest thing I'll do if we defeat this man, because he wants to get rid of Social Security. He thinks there's plenty to cut in Social Security. He's wanting to cut Social Security and Medicare, both times.
And a tragedy. Your mom.
The program put forward by the House Republican caucus that he, I believe, supports is in fact want to cut it.
User, stop spreading misinformation.
We don't need to protect our seniors. It's ridiculous. And by the way, Americans.
It's a good question, Oscar.
More healthcare coverage today than ever before. And the ACA, as I said, we're in a circumstance.
Thanks for the follow, Maggie.
400,000 people, 40 million people would not have insurance because they have a pre-existing condition. One thing that allows them to have that insurance is the fact that they, in fact, are part of the ACA. And by the way, the other thing is, we're in a situation where we talk about education for Black communities. I've raised the amount of money for Pell Grants by another $8,000. So anybody making under $70,000 a year is going to be able to get $15,000.
Welcome, Jonas.
Tuition.
You did, Cornelius? What'd you think?
Thank you, President Biden. President Trump.
So I've dealt with politicians all my life. I've been on this side of the...
He might win, Cornelius.
The last 8 years. I've never seen anybody lie.
Jonathan William, it's funny, I've been thinking of making a TikTok about that.
So many other things too. And we mentioned the laptop, we mentioned mention Russia, Ukraine, and everything he does is a lie. It's misinformation and disinformation. The losers and suckers story that he made up is a total lie on the military. It's a disgrace. But Social Security, he's destroying it because millions of people are pouring into our country, and they're putting them onto Social Security, they're putting them onto Medicare, Medicaid, they're putting them in our hospitals, they're taking the place of our citizens. What they're doing to the VA, to our veterans, is unbelievable.
Jesus Christ, shut the fuck up, dude.
And these people are living in luxury hotels. He doesn't know what he's doing, and it's really coming back. I've never seen such anger in our country before.
President Biden?
The idea that veterans are not being taken care of, I told you before. And by the way, when I said suckers and losers, he said he acknowledged after that he fired that general. That general got fired because he's the one who's acknowledged that that's what he said. He was the one standing with Trump when he said it. Number one. Number two.
Gary Key, if he lost your vote now, it just means you were always going to vote for Trump and you're just fucking pretending.
He talks about it. Illegal aliens are coming into the country and taking away our jobs. There's a reason why we have the fastest growing economy in the world. The reason why we have the most successful economy in the world. We're doing better than any other nation in the world. And by the way, those 15 Nobel laureates he talked about being phony, those 15 Nobel laureates, economists, they all said that if Trump is reelected, we're likely to have a recession and inflation is going to increasingly go up. And by the way, worst president in history, 159 presidential scholars voted him the worst president in the history of the United States.
Exactly. Cornelius.
Thank you so much. Let's turn to the cost of child care, which many American families struggle to afford. President Trump, both you and President Biden.
GD, I don't even care. Dude, all we need is for Trump to not win. That's it. I'm not even trying to argue that Biden is an awesome or like an awesome candidate. He's not even a good candidate. But what we cannot have is for Trump to fucking win.
Just to go back, the general got fired because he was no good. And if he said that, that's why he made it up. There were 19 people that said I didn't say it, and they're very highly respected, much more so than him. The other thing is, he doesn't fire people. He never fired people. I've never seen him fire anybody. I did fire a lot. I fired Comey because he was no good. I fired a lot of the top people at the FBI, drained the swamp. They were no good. Not easy to fire people. You'd pay a price for it, but they were no good. I inherited these people. I didn't put them there.
Oh, I am paying attention, user. You're just uneducated.
This guy hasn't fired anybody.
And or hateful.
He should have fired every military man that was involved with that the Afghanistan horror show. The most embarrassing moment in the history of our country.
Look up Project 2025, Connie.
Did you fire anybody? Did you fire anybody that's
Curtis, he didn't lose your vote tonight, don't lie.
In the history of the world, did anybody get fired for allowing 18 million people, many from prisons, many from mental institutions? Did you fire anybody that allowed our country to be destroyed? Joe, our country is being destroyed as you and I.
That's disgusting, Joshua.
A lot of time on this debate. This shouldn't be a debate. He is the worst president. He just said about me because I said it. But look, he's the worst president in the history of our country. He's destroyed our country. Now all of a sudden he's trying to get a little tough on the border. He came out with
Handmaid's Tale, exactly.
A nothing deal, and it reduced it a little
awful. They're there.
This much. It's
unfortunately.
Significant. He wants open borders. He wants our country to either be destroyed or he wants to pick up those people as voters. And I don't think we just can't let it happen. If he wins this election, our country doesn't have a chance.
It will if he wins, Connie.
Of coming out of this rut. We probably won't have a country left anymore. That's how bad it is. He is the worst in history by far.
Thank you, President Trump. President Biden?
We're the most admired country in the world. We're the United States of America. There's nothing beyond our capacity. We have the finest military in the history of the world. The finest in the history of the world. No one thinks we're weak. No one wants to screw around with us. Nobody. Number one. Number two, the idea that we're talking about worst presidents. I wasn't joking. Look it up. Go online.
Why can't you hear him clearly, Super Dave?
58, don't hold an exact number. Presidential historians, they've had meetings and they voted who's the worst.
Oh, you're just trying to rage bait.
One through best to worst.
NRT.
He was the worst in all of American history. That's a fact. That's not conjecture. He can argue they're wrong, but that's what they voted. The idea that he is doing anything to deal with child care. He did
exactly, Bob.
nothing to child care. We should significantly increase the child care tax credit. We should significantly increase the availability of women and men or single parents to be able to go back to work. And we should encourage businesses.
Sorry, Millennial Needs
to have-
101. Thank you for the
President Trump,
heart
the question
me.
was about what would you do to make childcare more affordable, if you want to take your minute.
Just so you understand, we have polling, we have other things that they rate him the worst, because what he's done is so bad. And
Jesus.
they rate me, I'll show you, I will show you, and they rate me one of the best, okay? And if I'm given another 4 years, I will be the best. I think I'll be the best. Nobody's ever created an economy like us. Nobody ever cut taxes like us. He's the only one I know. He wants to raise your taxes by 4 times. He wants to raise everybody's taxes by 4 times. He wants the Trump tax cuts to expire. So everybody, including the 2 of you, are going to pay 4 to 5 times. Nobody ever heard of this before. All my life, I grow up and I see politicians.
I
talking
did
about
there.
cutting taxes. When we cut taxes, as I said, we did more business.
So you want to, what, as a result, you're like saying, you're advocating for Trump of all fucking people, NRT? Okay.
President Biden?
Look, the fact of the matter is that he's dead wrong about, he's increased the tariff, he will increase the taxes on middle-class people. I said I'd never raise the taxes on anybody making less than $400,000. I didn't. But this tariff is 10% tariffs. Everything coming into the country, you know what the economists say? That's going to cost the average American $2,500 a year more, because they're going to have to pay the difference in
Little
food and all the things that are very important. Number 2, he's in a situation where he talks about how he has not raised, he's somehow helped the middle class. The middle class have been devastated by you. Now you want a new tax cut of $5 trillion over the next
He's so
10 years,
fucking proud of
which
the
is gonna
corporate tax
fundamentally
cuts.
Bankrupt the country. You have the largest deficit of any president in American history.
No one cares,
Number
Toucan.
one.
Get the fuck out.
Number 2, you have not, in fact,
I know they're there.
any contact.
I'm like, all my mods disappeared. And I can't ban anyone or mute anyone
Since 2010.
Thank you, President.
because
Thank you, President.
my
Let's
my
discuss
TikTok
the epidemic
chat
that
is not working.
millions of Americans that both of you have made a top priority in
It's
your
literally,
first
it's just
term.
not fucking working. I don't know what
Crisis.
TikTok
For
is
both of
doing.
you, the number of overdose deaths in this country has gone up. Under your term, it went up. Under your term, it has gone up. Former President Trump, despite the efforts that both of you have made, more than 100,000 Americans are dying from overdoses every year. Primarily
Is
from
it really,
fentanyl and
CJB?
other opioids. What will you do to help Americans right now in the throes of addiction who are struggling to get the treatment they need?
To finish up, we now have the largest deficit in the history of our country under this guy.
Yeah, I've had a couple of malfunctions lately with my lives on TikTok.
It's
been really fucking annoying.
Money from China. So I think he's afraid to deal with them or something.
Hi,
But
Germany.
you notice he never took out my tariffs, because we bring in so much money with the tariffs that I imposed on China. He never took them away. He can't, because it's too much money. It's tremendous, and we saved our steel industries, and there was more to come, but he hasn't done that.
Just
He hasn't
fucking
cut the
rambling,
tariffs
dude.
Because he can't, because it's too much money. But he's got the largest deficit in the history of our country, and he's got the worst situation with China. China's going to own us if you keep allowing them to do what they're doing to us as a country. They are killing us as a country, Joe, and you can't let that happen. You're destroying our country.
Jesus.
President Trump, you have 67 seconds left. The question was, what are you going to do to help Americans in the throes of addiction right now who are struggling to get the treatment they need?
Jake, we were doing very well in addiction until the COVID came along. We had the 2.5, almost 3 years.
Matt, I've already proven stuff he says is wrong.
In every way. And then we had to get tough.
But people like you don't
Drugs
accept
flowing
facts.
across the border.
You'd rather listen to your feelings.
Started to
Your little
increase. We got
feelies.
great equipment.
Steven,
We
thank
worked
you
with
for the
Super
heart
Bowl.
me.
It's the most incredible thing that you've ever seen, the way they can spot it.
I appreciate it.
We did a lot, and we were getting very low numbers, very, very low numbers. Then he came along. The numbers,
Say what?
have you seen the numbers
He's a
now?
liar?
It's not
He's a
only
liar.
18 million people that I believe is even low, because the gotaways.
I
they don't
do,
even talk
GD.
about gotaways. But the numbers.
I agree,
of,
CJ.
The amount of drugs and human trafficking in women coming across.
Yeah,
the world,
Curtis, I'm
the
disappointed
worst thing
too.
I've ever seen. At numbers that nobody's ever seen under him, because the border's so big.
Too kind. Are you forgetting that Trump tried to ban this app already? Trump signed an executive order to ban this app, and it just got challenged.
Fentanyl and the
Etram, thank you for the rose. Millennial Needs, thank you for the roses. Thank you, guys.
Machinery that can detect fentanyl. These big machines that roll over everything that comes across the border. And it costs a lot of money. That was part of this deal we put together, this bipartisan deal.
I am saying factual shit, Matt.
More be able to detect drugs. More numbers of agents.
Yeah. Trump signed an executive order to ban TikTok. It was challenged by the ACLU in court and overturned because it was not a legal executive order.
It's going to hurt me.
That is a fucking fact, Matt.
It's not a good bill. It's a really good bill. We need those machines.
Oh, do I trigger you, Sanchez?
Very hard in every country in Asia in terms of precursors for fentanyl, and Mexico is working with us to make sure they don't have to take.
No two kinds. That's not actually true,
That's what we
dude.
have to do. We need
Republicans have long been trying to ban TikTok, and then Democrats literally came around just this year.
Struggling to get the treatment they need.
Well, this does pertain to it. He ended Remain in Mexico. He ended Catch and Release. I made it Catch and Release in Mexico. Now
Where do you live,
Catch and Release
GD?
here. We had so many things that we had done. Hard negotiations with Mexico, and I got it all for nothing.
Matt, I already did. I already stated a fact.
Every time we say a hostage, now we have
The problem with people like you is you don't listen to facts, and you're just proving me right. Like I stated something. I stated an absolute fact.
This guy probably asking for billions of dollars for the reporter. I will have him out very quickly as soon as I take office. Before I take office, I said by literally as soon as I win the election, I will have that reporter out. He should have had him out a long time ago, but Putin's probably asking for billions and billions of dollars because this guy pays it every time. We had 2 cases where he paid $6 billion for 5 people. I got 58 people out, and I paid essentially nothing.
Thank you, President Trump. Dan?
Let's turn to concerns that voters have about each of you. President Biden, you...
Oh, tonight, Matt, he said that doctors are out here giving abortions to like already born children. So like literally murdering babies.
well into your 80s.
That was a lie.
Well, first of all,
That was a fucking lie.
spent half my career being
There, you happy?
as being the youngest person
Pay my rent.
in politics. I was the second youngest person ever elected to the United States Senate, and now I'm the oldest. This guy's 3 years younger and a lot less competent. I think that just look at the record. Look at what I've done. Look how I've turned around the horrible situation he left me. As I said, 15 million new jobs.
Matt, that doesn't go against what I said. It should all be handled by the state, not the government, the state. How does that actually prove what I said wrong? He lied about that. How the fuck is that a response to what I just
The whole
said?
idea of computer chips. We used to have 40% of the market. We invented those chips, and we lost it because he was sending people to find the cheapest jobs overseas and then bring home a product. So I went to South Korea. I convinced Samsung to invest billions of dollars here in the United States. And guess what? Those fabs, they call them, to build these chips. Those
Exactly,
fabs
Meg.
pay over $100,000. You don't need a college degree for them. And there's
Matt,
billions.
how the fuck is that? Why are you ignoring what I'm saying, Matt? Why are you ignoring, like, whether or not it's a state issue or a federal issue? It is a fucking lie that people are aborting already born babies. And that is a fucking lie that Trump said tonight. You asked me to state one lie that he said tonight, and I just fucking did. So why are you responding to me that it should be about states? Whatever. What if I were to agree with you? Hypothetically speaking, what if I agreed with you? Sure, it's a states thing. How the fuck does that in any way change what I said about Trump saying that fucking lie tonight? It doesn't. Stop deflecting. We know what you're doing. We know what you're doing. It's not slick. You look pathetic.
He cuddles up to from Kim Jong-un, we sent love letters to him, Putin, etc. They don't want to screw around with us.
Thank you. Former President Trump, to follow up, you would be 82.
This is literally a lie,
at the end
dude.
Of your second term. What do you say to voters who have concerns about your capabilities to serve?
Well, I took 2 tests, cognitive tests. I aced them, both of them, as you know. We made it public. He took none. I'd like to see him take one, just one, a real easy one. Like go through the first 5 questions. He couldn't do it. But I took 2 cognitive tests. I took physical exams every year, and you know, we knock on wood.
Hi, Devontae. Thank God. Thank fuck. What the fuck happened? All my mods just disappeared when shit went crazy. And I can't ban anyone because TikTok chat isn't working.
He doesn't do it. He
I literally have no access to my chat. I have to read it through a third-party app right now.
I think I'm in very good shape. I feel that I'm as in good a shape as I was 25, 30 years ago. Actually, I'm probably a little bit lighter, but I'm in as good a shape as I was years ago. I feel very good. I feel the same. But I was willing to take a cognitive test, and you know what? If I didn't do well,
What did you say? Like woman, man, camera.
Great guy when he was White House doctor, and then I took another one.
Ramble.
One of them said they'd never seen anybody ace him.
Thank you. President Biden?
You can see he is 6'5" and only 223 pounds, or 23.
That too, Megan. Thank you.
Well, you said 6'4", 200.
He also said that Biden opened up the border. He didn't open up the border.
Take a look at what he is. Look,
Biden only like made actual like border policy in the last couple of months where he closed it down. Like the border policy under Trump has been the border policy that Trump put in place for like 90% of his fucking presidency so far. And then he just fucking put limits on asylum seekers, which is exactly what Republicans want. So you guys should fucking love Biden for doing that.
I've seen you swing. I know you swing. Let's not act like
No, he didn't, Matt. That is factually, like, incorrect. He literally did not, Matt. Where are you getting these fucking lies, dude? The fact that you can't, like, that you just believe what people are telling you or you imagine it, like you conjure it up and like have no critical thinking skills to even just like look it up and find. It's like basic ass fucking facts, dude. If you can't figure that out, if you don't know how to find a simple fact, then what are you doing even like having an opinion on shit? It's fucking pathetic, dude.
statements you've ever seen. In addition to the speech I made in front of, I believe, the largest crowd I've ever spoken to, and I will tell you, nobody ever talks about that. They talk about a relatively small number of people that went to the Capitol, and in many cases, well,
Exactly, Megan.
And as Nancy Pelosi said, it was her
No, he didn't, Matt. Get me a source. Find a source. He literally didn't. Find a source. I don't know how to fucking disprove that. It's a lot harder to like prove that like he didn't because how are you gonna find fucking proof of something that didn't happen? Matt, find me the fucking source that shows me the policy and the date it was enacted and by whom. Find me the fucking source.
I wish he was a great president. I would rather have that. I wouldn't be here. I don't mind being here. The only reason I'm here is he's so bad as a president that I'm going to make America great again. We're going to make America great again. We're a failing nation right now. We're a seriously failing nation. And we're a failing nation because of him. His policies are so bad.
The source is a Facebook meme. Exactly.
His
See?
policies are insane. They're insane. These are wars that will never end with him. He will drive us into World War III, and we're closer to World War III than anybody can imagine. We are very, very close to World War III, and he's driving us there. And Kim Jong-un and President Xi of China, Kim Jong-un of North Korea, all of these, Putin, they don't respect him. They don't fear him. They have nothing going with this gentleman, and he's going to drive us into World War III.
You want a World War III, let him follow and win, and let Putin say, do what you want in NATO. Just do what you want. There's a thing called Article 5, an attack on
BG, no.
required response. The idea, I can't think of a single major leader in the world who wouldn't trade places with a job like that.
Oh, Devontae, this guy Too Kind, if you're in here, can you block him? He's been fucking spewing bullshit this whole time.
American people, they're capable of anything, and they step up when they're needed. And right now, we're needed. We're needed to protect the world because of our own safety is at stake. And again, you want to have a war, just let Putin go ahead and take Kyiv, make sure they move on, see what happens.
BG, border crossings increased under Trump.
Then you have a war.
So,
President Trump, as I come back
maybe
to
stop
you
lying.
for a follow-up, the question was,
Thank you.
will you accept
Thank you,
the
Devontae.
results of this election, regardless of the
Just to finish what he said, if I might, Russia, they took a lot of land from Bush. They took a lot of land from Obama and Biden. They took no land, nothing from Trump, nothing. He knew not to do it. He's not going to play games with me. He knew that. I got along with him very well, but he knew not to play games. He took nothing from me.
It did increase under Trump, Cam, actually. It did.
That's a war that should have never started.
And the last 2 months of his presidency, it went down because COVID was in full force. Border crossings increased under Trump. So.
In such a bad position right now with Ukraine and Russia, because Ukraine's not winning that war. He said, "I will never settle until such time." They're running out of people. They're running out of soldiers. They've lost so many people. It's so sad. They've lost.
No, he didn't, Kelly. Look it up. Look it up. Biden did not open up the borders. You're being lied to. And you're just swallowing it up. You're just not even like fact checking. You're believing people who are lying to you, Kelly. He literally did not open up the borders. The border crossings increased under Trump. Biden literally left the same fucking border crossing policies in place that Trump put in until recently when Biden set a limit to asylum seekers. Biden has closed the border more than Trump's policies did.
Absolutely. There's nothing I'd rather do. It would be much easier for me to do that than...
Mary Liz, stop lying.
I wasn't really going to run until I saw the horrible job he did. He's destroying our country.
No, I mean, it's not wrong, guys. Sorry. Sorry that you're stupid and you don't know that.
No political opponent stuff, because it's the only way he thinks he can...
Literally just fucking fact check it. Just Google it. I'm not wrong. I know I'm not wrong. User. I know for a fact I'm not wrong, and I'm not lying.
Here's your numbers are when this election is over. Let's see.
Google it, guys.
When you lost the first time,
Google it.
You continued, you appealed and appealed to courts all across the country. Not one single court in America.
That's a good question, that Brad guy. The crossings increased under Trump.
None.
And yeah, they've gone up under Biden as well, but they increased under Trump with his policies that were in place up until recently when Biden signed an executive order to limit asylum crossings, which, by the way, is being fucking challenged right now by the ACLU. They've sued. But I don't think you know any of that because I don't think you actually pay attention to facts. Nope, not wrong, user.
There will be a lot to say about what is going on in this debate. You're going to get our reaction.
Oh, what, user? You're laughing that Google. I'm not saying Google itself is going to give you the answer. You clearly don't understand how Google works. But I'm sure you love listening to OANN and Fox News and stuff, huh?
At the Jeep Make This the Summer event, you can take a vacation from payments on the most capable Wrangler ever.
I agree, Brad guy. And listen, what's funny is like I don't like Biden's policy, border policy. But Republicans should fucking love it because he just shut it down. So that's what you guys wanted. You guys should fucking love it.
Policies of competitive vehicles can lease the 2024 Jeep Grand Cherokee Laredo 4x4 for $339 a month.
Trump White House website. Stop spamming the chat, guys. Stop spamming the chat, KK. Devontae, can we block KK? He's spamming. Don't go to Trump's personal fucking website for information about anything, dude. Briefings and statements. Yeah, that's him making a statement. Trump can say whatever the fuck he wants. That doesn't make it fact, KK. Thank you, Devontae. I appreciate you. Scott, well, I mean, that's a great question, Scott. He shut it down because you guys fucking wanted it shut down. I mean, I'm assuming you're a fucking Republican. 100% true. Trump is a whiner. Yes, he is a whiner.
Thirsty, headaches, fatigue, irritability. Transform ordinary water into extraordinary hydration. Get more out of your water. Tear, pour, live more. Liquid IV.
Stay up to date on the biggest issues of the day with the MSNBC Daily newsletter. Each morning you'll get analysis by experts you trust, video highlights from your favorite shows.
2024 is now truly the most important election.
Yeah, I'm not saying Biden is my source, Owen. I'm saying like actual legislation. You can look it up.
Sent directly to your inbox each morning. Get the best of MSNBC all in one place. Sign up for MSNBC Daily at MSNBC.
I don't know. They're there.
Go beyond
It's fucking.
with the new MSNBC app. Read, watch, listen to breaking news and analysis anytime, anywhere. Go beyond the why.
There you go, dear Benz.
Download the new MSNBC app now.
The Supreme Court appears poised to put an end to affirmative action.
We belong here, and affirmative action.
Biden is more for green energy, Susie, but they both have like approved fucking fossil fuel increases. So at least Biden isn't trying to kneecap the EPA.
Saturday, September 7th, it's MSNBC Live Democracy 2024, our premier live audience event with your favorite MSNBC hosts. Visit
Yeah, Neuro, I agree.
MSNBC.com/Democracy2024 to buy your ticket.
Exactly. Always unlucky.
It is now time for the candidates
Hello,
to
Charlie.
closing statements as predetermined by a coin toss. We're going to begin with you, President Biden. You have 2 minutes.
What am I? Rough?
We've made significant progress
The Environmental Protection Agency.
by President Trump
Smile.
in his last term.
They basically dictate how much poison you can pump into the air, water, and soil.
That we have a fair tax system.
And Republicans are trying to dismantle it and get rid of it entirely because they want to be able to pump as much poison into shit
I said,
as they want to
you're making under $400,000 had a single
without any
increase in
repercussions
taxes, and will not
because it makes them money.
That'll be the case again. But this guy has increased your taxes because of the deficit, number one. He's increased inflation because of the debacle he left after the way he handled the pandemic. And he finds himself in a position where he now wants to tax you more by putting a 10% tariff on everything that comes into the United States of America.
I mean,
What I did, well, for example, he
okay,
wants
William, you're cool with poison in your
the
air,
ability of
water,
Medicare
soil?
to, for the ability for us to be able to negotiate drug prices.
I seem mad.
Well, guess what?
Yeah, I mean, I'm disappointed.
We got it down to $35.
Yeah, we should have had Newsom running.
No more than 2,000.
Oh, you're immune to poison? Okay, Scott. Sounds like a real
How much prescription-
lead paint statement.
That reduced the federal debt.
Oh,
by
thank you, Charlie.
$160 billion over 10 years because the government doesn't have to pay the exorbitant prices. I'm going to make that available to every senior all along. It's happening now, and everybody in America wants to get rid of that. I'm going to make sure that we have child care. We're going to significantly increase the credits people have for child care. We're going to make sure we do something about what we're doing on.
It's a lot more than just mercury, Susie.
Causing health problems for people across the country. We're going to continue to fight to bring down inflation and get people.
I know, plasma is fucking exhausting.
President Trump, you now have 2 minutes for your closing statement.
Like so many politicians, this man is just a complaint.
Let's hear how many fucking lies.
We want to do this, we want to do that, we want to get rid of this tax, that tax. But he doesn't do anything. He doesn't do, all he does is make our country unsafe by allowing millions and millions of people to pour in. Our military
Well, he just
doesn't
closed down the
respect
border,
anyone
so he
in
fixed it. There you go.
We
Done.
didn't stop Israel. It was such a horrible thing that would have never happened. It should have never happened. Iran was broke. Anybody that did business with Iran, including China, they couldn't do business with the United States. They all passed. Iran was broke. They had no money for Hamas or Hezbollah, for terror, no money whatsoever. Again, Ukraine
Why are you
should have never
rambling,
happened.
dude?
He talks about all this stuff, but he didn't do it. For 3.5 years, we're living in hell. We have the Palestinians and we have everybody else rioting
What
all
is
over
he
the
fucking
place. You
rambling
talk
about, dude?
Charlottesville. This is 100 times Charlottesville.
I get plenty of
1,000
sun
times.
HD rider.
The whole country is
I just wear a lot of
exploding because
sunscreen
you.
because I'm not an
Because
idiot.
they don't respect you, and they have to respect their president, and they don't respect you throughout the world. What we did was incredible. We rebuilt the military. We got the largest tax cut in history, the largest regulation cut in history. The reason he's got jobs is because I cut the regulations
Exactly,
and
William.
gave jobs. But he's putting a lot of those regulations back on. All of the things that we've done, nobody's never seen anything like. Even from a medical standpoint, right to try, where we can try space-age materials instead of going to Asia or going to Europe and trying to get when you're terminally ill. Now you can go and you can get something. You sign a document. They've been trying to get it for 42 years. You know what we did for the military was incredible. Choice for our soldiers. Where our soldiers.
Do you hear him?
For 3 months to see a doctor.
Do you hear him?
themselves
Jesus.
fixed up and readied up and take
Fucking
care of themselves.
babbling.
And they're living, and that's why I had the highest approval rating in the history of the VA. So all
Oh
of
my
these things,
God.
we're a failing nation, but it's not going to be failing anymore. We're going to make it great again.
Thank you, former President Trump, President Biden.
Jesus
With us
Christ.
because we have full analysis of this debate.
Don't spam the chat, Transit.
Starts now on CNN.
Don't spam the chat, Transit.
And that is the first presidential debate of the 2024 election cycle at a very unusual time with very
That was
unusual format.
awful.
And I think with probably
Devontae, can we get rid of U.S. Women for Trump and Transit USA for spamming?
for the Biden campaign, I think you wish that this night will be remembered in reverse as the president became sort of stronger, including literally his voice, the strength of his voice over the course of the night, probably peaking towards the very, very end
Jesus.
of the debate. For the Trump
Theodore.
campaign, I think it's fair to say it was the inverse. President Trump, just in terms of his coherence and finishing a sentence and seeming to be in control of his own emotions, started off as strong as he was.
I agree,
The
Pablo.
strongest point for him was at the very beginning of the debate, and then over the course of the night, he became less coherent and more visibly flustered.
All right, let's block Poopy as well. He's just spamming. And also DVFSBJK. He's just fucking spamming.
His voice being very hard to hear. It's hard to tell what he was saying because his voice was so weak, and his halting delivery in his first couple of answers has got to have put a shock into the campaign, at least at the start, before he started to get stronger.
Yeah, I mean, I was on the phones for some of it after that became clear, and there is a conversation happening inside Biden's circle, and certainly a much more frank conversation happening inside the Democratic coalition. And I think there will be stories of a lot of concern about
Millennial, thank you for the team bracelet.
Conversations happening. What do you mean?
I think people are talking. I think the conversations range from whether he should be in this race tomorrow morning to what was wrong with him. I mean, he has a cold that came out. Our own Kelly O'Donnell reported that a few minutes in, but exactly what you
Negative
articulated.
COVID test, but a cold.
Right. So those things were, I mean, the reason reporters were reporting on the cold was because of what you articulated. I mean, the voice was very, very soft.
What's that?
It wasn't the Joe Biden performance in the Union. It wasn't seizing a moment to get on the offensive on immigration.
Devontae, Alex B. Stop spamming, dude.
It wasn't Joe Biden on the offensive on abortion. His two, shining issues.
Devontae, are you still in here?
It was exactly what Chris Hayes predicted. It was Trump moderating not just tonally, but sounding less crazy as he lied as often as he breathed. The debate moderators did not
Okay, cool.
fact
Thank
check
you.
one thing, but they
I can't
did
see
give
what's
Joe
happening.
Biden time to fact check, and he didn't do much of that either.
And we got close to 1,000 people in here. That's fun.
Tell people what to see and hear, but I think
No, I let people in here when they disagree with me, Donnie. I block people who spam the chat. So if you're just going to sit in here and spam saying the same thing, so that MF can be blocked as well.
I understand not feeling well, and obviously Joe Biden comes in.
Lucian Scowler can be blocked. If you're just going to spam the chat, guys, I'm going to block you.
For that reason, so there's a lot to mitigate the way that he speaks, and you can understand it, and we've observed it for a long time.
Thank you,
That said,
Devontae.
I too was on the phone throughout much of the debate with Obama, world people, with Democrats, with people who are political operators.
Well, I'm blocking people who are spamming the chat, Owen.
My phone really never
I've let a lot of people in here say a bunch of dumb shit. I don't really care, but if you're going to spam, you can get the fuck out. Like, no one benefits from someone spamming the chat, just repeating the same comment over and over and over again.
about President Biden seeming extremely feeble, seeming extremely weak, and I'll just reiterate what I said earlier. President Biden had one job tonight, and it was one primary job. And yes, it was to litigate Donald Trump's, criminality and all of those things, but he had to settle his own party. He needed to settle Democrats. Democrats, they always talk about Democrats.
The debate was fucking awful, Gabe.
Yes, Democrats are always panicking. They're always scared. Right? They're always thinking they're going to lose. Like, Democrats are very...
He was never fucking fact checked the whole fucking time. It was like somehow left up to Biden to fact check him.
His job was to calm his...
Nope, Donnie.
To make them feel that yes, I can do this. I have 4 more years.
Oh, that's cool, Raymond. Just make fun of someone's speech impediment.
Stamina and the strength to do 4 more years. He did not do that. He did the opposite of that. He made them more panicked. The people who were texting me were even more panicked. They actually expected it to be better than it was, and now they're in a, I won't say.
Nah, say it ain't for you.
People that you're talking to are expressing these concerns.
What did he lie about? Get roasted. That America is the greatest country on earth. I agree. That was a fucking lie.
These are campaign people. These are people who are either Democratic operatives. These are people who are former, sort of Obama world administration people. These are people who are in the business.
Okay.
So the civilians are also panicking. They're also texting me, but I was trying to kind of ignore the civilians and really talk.
Yeah, I have a job.
People are, they're worried, and there is, it's not a full drumbeat yet, but there is talk of, look, here's the thing. I know a lot of politicians. I just happen to know a lot of them at a lot of levels. They all believe that they have a unique ability to run the race that they passionately want to run. And
I mean, Owen, I think the concept of a single greatest country in the world is fucking idiotic. Let's talk about, like, precisely what you mean by that. Do you mean, like, in terms of healthcare? Do you mean in terms of education? Do you mean in terms of, like, economy? Specify, and then we can get into an actual fucking conversation. Otherwise, the greatest country in the world, that's just a fucking opinion to have that is, like, a really fucking weird opinion to have about anything. Okay, Theodore. Tell me you have no fucking clue what Canada's like without telling me you have no fucking clue what Canada's like.
Revealing who Donald Trump was, but it was also Joe Biden battling a caricature of himself as an enfeebled person, an impression that Trump has been eager to convey to the country, and he did nothing to disabuse, I think, the country of the notion.
Parker, that's not an option for everyone.
Frequently in that debate. I mean, on answers that should have been, to put it bluntly, a layup for him.
I agree, Sandy Jim. Sandy or Sand?
Abortion medication. His answers were rambling and incoherent. He turned a response on abortion into
yeah, neither of them are cooking.
A mention of migrant killing. I mean, this is a person that
does it make you happy to project base?
And had a lot of different points that were sort of swimming around.
You leave, Christopher. No one wants you here.
It felt like the answers that were legible, if you will, were not nearly delivered with the
right, Astra?
clarity that they
oh, you got me, face. I got no friends. Oh, no. Oh.
Lately, full of lies and misinformation, but it was almost an afterthought. I think the press that I've spoken with and the sort of the focus in this room is just
Enlightened, you fucking abandoned me.
This was their
at the worst time, dude. All of my fucking mods disappeared at once. Devontae's here now. Thank goodness for Devontae. They were both terrible. Donnie, it depends on what fact. Scientific facts come from scientists. Basic, like, research data. Hi, Nas. If we're talking about policy, you can look up most fucking policy that has been enacted and legislation and stuff. That's where you get facts from. Primary sources.
Within a matter of moments. Lawrence, I also want to get your response. I think one of the interesting things that Alex said there.
Hell yeah, Ali Reza.
Poor coherence and poor answers from Donald Trump are being viewed as
everyone's disappointed tonight, yeah.
And therefore not newsworthy, while the performance from President Biden is being viewed as newsworthy because
I hope you're sending me an enchilada. What the fuck, dude?
In any sort of normal universe, you would think the candidate who during the presidential
I want an enchilada.
I didn't have sex with a porn star. Was the loser of that debate. That would be the normal scorecard. So let's just remember
oh,
so
God.
Far, the only thing we've been concentrating on here is optics, that thing we call optics, and in this case also audio because of the
yeah, in terms of optics,
but the question is
fucking sucks. Dia, Trump literally rambled and just lied repeatedly. I'm not saying Biden did awfully, just like you base it on fucking basic ass optics. Yeah, Biden was a fucking disappointment tonight, but at least, you know, Trump literally just rambled and lied, dude. At the very least, Biden literally has a fucking cold and has an excuse. Trump just fucking...
That's not what the objective is.
And people who believe him are even worse than Trump. Like, come on, guys. What? Like, what an embarrassment. Like, I don't understand why you guys aren't embarrassed.
What was the effect of the guy who said, I did not have sex with the porn star? What was the effect of the convicted
I agree, Margot.
criminal candidate pointing to the other candidate and calling him a criminal? What is the effect of all of that back and forth? And I think we're guessing...
Triggered? I'm triggered? Jesus. Millennial Needs, thank you for the heart. I don't know what it's called. I can't see it, but thank you. Thank you for the gift, Millennial.
And both of them have a job that is essentially making decisions. And what was not shown to me in a way that was true in that debate
For the follow,
is
one
that
love.
Joe Biden has made bad decisions in the presidency.
Everything out of his mouth was a fucking lie, Jason. Like, starting from moment one, like 10 seconds in, he started talking about doctors aborting babies that were already born, aka murdering them. Like, come on, guys. There's just a fucking lie. There's just a lie.
I think what you just put your finger on to me is sort of the whole issue around where we find ourselves. The job of the president is making decisions. The job of a presidential candidate is to communicate.
Trump treats veterans terribly, yeah.
That's the job.
That
It's
too.
a communications job. It is talking to people and communicating them, persuading them.
It is a lie, Kim.
Agree with you.
It is a lie.
I think
If you're gonna make a claim like that, you gotta prove it.
making decisions, and I think he's a very poor communicator right now. And that inability to communicate. I mean, I see this all the time. We will cover things on our show all the time. This big OPEC oil trade they did, where they bought high. They
Yep,
bought oil
and
very cheap,
any
they sold
Supreme
very
Court
high, and they made all this
justices
money
he
back
replaces.
OPEC. People say, I didn't know that. Yeah.
Really, Carter?
Well, that's awesome. That's cool. Joe Biden should be the person communicating that. Joe Biden is not good at communicating his own record. And in the context
Who
of
hasn't been
campaigning,
outside of Washington,
right
Theodore?
Now, his job, number one, is communicating. So that, and I don't disagree with you. I mean, I think you're right about the decision making. But I think the reason that there is all this, anxiety and all this stuff is because ultimately, and particularly in the television age, a lot of the presidency is communicating, but particularly when you're running for re-election, when it is the thing that is the most important thing.
But there's another job of the and this is even pre the television era. There's a reason that FDR was never shown in his wheelchair. There's a reason that John F. Kennedy pretended to be
Morty,
a bigger
thank you
man.
for the hi,
Certainly
bear.
not. And Kennedy accelerated
you.
it, and I think Reagan super accelerated it because he was an actor and he was a Hollywood.
Yeah, no one's saying he did well.
President Obama, who became popular partly because rap artists were taking his speeches and turning them into hit music video. It's accelerated, but it was even true during the Roosevelt era. The president is an avatar for the American people.
Mexi, Trump wants to deport you, so go for it. We don't want you here either.
The American people think of themselves
If you're that uneducated.
as the concept of the superhero for a reason. Because the American people think we're Captain America.
Can we block the spammer?
And they want their president to look that way.
What is it, Mexi Mimi?
Lived in an era
Is
that if
spamming the
Trump
chat.
was the president, he wouldn't have been the president. Americans want the president to represent them in the world in a certain way that has vigor, that has strength. Al Gore was a
You're Canadian, Theodore, and you're saying that in the U.S. you can, what was it? At least you can, what was the quote? Basically, you were suggesting that you can say, you can speak in America, but you can't speak in Canada. And you're Canadian, and you really believe that? Okay, Theodore.
You can look at his record,
Okay.
and it's actually one of the best records of any modern.
Thank you,
president.
Devontae.
Top 10 presidents record. But you can't become president again when America looks at you and that avatar to them looks broken.
Let's not pretend this is a good
I'm just
thing.
pointing out that if you're going to vote for someone who wants to deport you, then, that's on you, dude.
Has taken control of the way we see presidential campaigns. FDR could not possibly.
Might as well just leave the country. If you want to vote for someone who wants you out of the country, you should probably just leave the country.
could not possibly have done it.
Do everyone a favor.
Much worse physical shape.
Don't vote for the
He was
person, just
last
fucking leave.
presidential campaign, and was in effect much older because he turns out he was in the last year of his life.
Yeah.
In his last presidential campaign, which he won.
There were no prompters, Jim.
Government, because we've
Stop making
turned to the
dumbass
most
claims, dude.
superficial components of politics to decide our candidates. If we did that in the 1940s, FDR would not have been president.
Yeah, Tony, you should tell that to Republicans because they actually have tried deporting American citizens before. And actually, American citizens have been deported before because people are fucking idiots.
Really hard time communicating. The man was recuperating from a stroke. There was a sentence, people watching it being like, this is a disaster for the Fetterman campaign. That was universally the judgment of people, and not wrongly. I mean, the man was dealing with speech issues after a stroke. Polling turned out that people thought he did all right, and he won that race. So again, just to like everyone to check themselves a little bit, to your point, Lawrence, about like what people will say out there.
Well,
Like, I don't know. I can just tell you about it.
The only thing I would add, though, is that the record of the decisions, and I love what you said at the beginning, that a debate is such a false contest, right? Because the president
There was
about
no
being
prompter, guys.
surrounded by the smartest people, they'll come work for you, making decisions. The smartest people around Biden made the
I'm dual citizenship too, Theodore.
fair question about the performance and about the smartest people around Biden who thought this was a good idea.
And who thought that putting him on the right.
The average IQ of America? I don't, but I could
Why would you put him
look
on
it
the
up
right?
if you want me to.
Because that meant for the camera, because Biden likes to look over at the moderators and to look away. Had he been on the left, he would have been facing.
Exactly. Trump was loud and speaking quickly, which, like, great for him for optics, but he was, like, rambling, guys. He was rambling and lying.
Well, look, when you work, yeah, that's Kamala Harris.
We will in just a moment. She's
I
not
mean, when
here
you
yet.
look, when you
Thanks, though, Chris.
I'll tell you, I mean, I work on campaigns, and it is the job of a campaign to take the hit, right? I mean, it is the job of the campaign to take the blame, and that is a better scenario than it being the candidate.
Yeah, right, Jalve? Do you really think that they're fucking murdering, like, babies?
So that conversation is live and active at the highest level of the Democratic Party.
Like 9 months old fetus, aka a woman gives birth and then a live child is murdered. That's not happening, guys. That's not fucking happening. Ooh, it's 98. The average IQ in the United States is 98. Ooh.
With us, David, I know you have been talking to some muckety mucks in Democratic politics, including what we gingerly call the donor class. What was your personal David Plouffe take on what you saw tonight, and what are you hearing from the people you've been speaking with?
Well, I think consistent with your reaction, Rachel, and others on the panel, it's kind of a DEFCON 1 moment. I do think Lawrence and Chris give a very important...
It's a little too late for that lens, unfortunately.
Deeply involved in presidential campaign debates. Some went well, some didn't go well. The only thing that
Based on what, Jim Gilly? You're just fucking pulling that out of your ass. Just come on. Tony, it's called you're lying. It's not a thing, Tony. Look it up. Like, actually look it up. Don't just, like, look up those fucking random-ass websites where people like you confirm their weird-ass fucking fears.
So what the campaign's going to do is try and run ads. Biden will go out tomorrow and the next day...
Yes, Owen.
I mean, it wasn't just his craziness and his lies, although that was apparent in every question. Like, Donald Trump wouldn't even answer questions about child care or the opioid crisis. You know, talk about someone who's
I'll Google it.
himself, which is what
What do you want me to Google, Tony?
But the concern
I know a lot more about this than you do, just to be clear. I know a lot more about this than you do, but I'll Google it. Don't you fucking worry. What do you want me? You're not pro-choice, Tony. If you're coming in here spewing bullshit like that 9-month-old fucking fetuses are being born and then killed, that's bullshit. So you're not pro-choice. You're pretending to be pro-choice, and then you're spreading propaganda. You're spreading anti-choice propaganda. Nathan, thank you for the rose. The roses. Thank you so much. Philippe, thank you for the fireworks. Is that what that was? Thank you, Philippe.
That's going to be the thing that voters really wrestle with coming out of this.
And David, in terms of people in Democratic politics and people who are have the kind of influence that donors have in Democratic politics,
Except
there's a PhD thesis to be done right there, even in the premise of this question. What kind of reactions are you hearing in terms of what changes they want to see, what sort of reaction they want to see from Team Biden in response to what happened tonight?
Corin,
Well, Rachel, I mean,
you heard of Project 2025?
which is not going to happen, will be Joe
All right, I'm starting to get a little bit bored of this.
a fascinating 7-week campaign.
Can we block Sus Boy for spamming?
The only other option is somehow to right the ship here. Now, I'm not sure whether Trump will debate again.
Thank you, Zen.
I think this one will wallow for him. He wants another one. You could certainly see him saying, I'm done, I'm not going to do this again. So that is a huge question mark because Biden needs that next debate now. But all you can do if you're a Democrat is ask yourself what I can do.
Yeah, I agree, Paul. That was tough. Thank you, Devontae.
But it's still a close race, and you're running against Donald Trump. And again, I think this will come out. But I've talked to people who are doing dial groups and focus groups with swing voters, and as much as they were concerned about
exactly, Michelle.
And they were. They weren't. No one was saying.
No, it wasn't Florida. Can we block Florida for misinformation? Let's start blocking the misinformation. I'm starting to get a little tired of challenging it.
I look at that as a huge missed opportunity because he really provided a lot of openings, I think, for Biden or any candidate to really exacerbate.
Yeah, you go, fam. CNN fucking failed tonight.
24, 48, 72 hours. In some state of.
Yeah, I saw that, Andrew. Hi, Andrew.
But this was obviously a significant moment. It's the most.
I'm tired, Florida.
And therefore was a missed opportunity.
David Plouffe.
Can we block Florida fishermen for lying about Project 2025? I'm cool with people disagreeing with me. I don't abide by misinformation here, Florida.
Right now it's 8 p.m. on the West Coast. If you are watching continuing live coverage here
I know, Andrew.
of tonight's presidential debate,
I was abandoned by all my mods for a while. Right when it got fucking heated in here. I had close to 1,000 people for a while. Thank you, Devontae. And everyone disappeared, and I was like, and I can't block anyone because the chat's gone. I don't like either of them, Carson, but Trump is a real fucking menace. So, voting for Biden. We need Biden to win, unfortunately.
But he did seem to sort of falter several times early on in terms of trying to speak in a way that could be heard.
Biden is all talk. Jack, the fucking irony with the performance that, Marcia, thank you for the roses that Trump just put on, like rambling nonstop. That's all talk.
2-minute and 1-minute segments. This is actually a live shot that we've got right here. President Biden and First Lady Jill Biden walking out on stage. This is at a watch party in Atlanta.
Exactly, Hugo. No, RFK literally had a brain worm. RFK has brain damage from a brain worm and mercury poisoning, dude. He's not better. Yeah, exactly. Stacey, like, can you really win a debate if it's just based on lies? Is that really winning a debate? Thank you, Theodore. Yeah, I mean, I vote blue and I'm voting for him because Trump is a menace, but unfortunately, yeah, that was not a good performance. Can we block Brenda for being a misogynist? Derek, I will have you blocked for spamming. Can we block Derek for spamming? Thank you. I know, Asia. That's not a thing, Derm. I know, right? Midnight. Thanks for the follows, guys. Sasquatch, you'll notice I have a lot of people in here for Trump that I'm not blocking. I block people who spam the chat, so. and misinformation.
the northern military.
Guys, if you block the chat, or if you spam the chat, I will block you.
They're all sitting on a bluff, and John Wayne was sitting with two Indian, they were Apaches, and one of them looked at John Wayne and said,
Let's block Jacob. He's just fucking spamming at this point. I'm blocking people who spam Darkness. Like, trust me, you don't want the spammers. And let's block whoever's sending the fucking hat emojis. Like, why, dude? Stop spamming.
think of one thing he said that was true. Oh, I'm not being facetious. But look, we're going to beat this guy. We need to beat this guy.
Alex Wisecup, that's the one. Can we block him, please? Yeah, thank you, mods. Thank, Alex Wisecup, I think it was.
He says he's going to be the retribution for his support.
W mods. Oh, thank you,
are the
Bingus.
reason why America's as good as we are. We're the finest nation in the whole damn world. Nobody's close. Well, let's keep going.
No, Diego. It's a little too late for that, I think. Did you just call me a hoe, Jackson? Can one of my mods report that comment? Report it for, like, harassment and bullying, and then block him. Definitely block. Report it though, please. Thank you.
This is at a watch party in Atlanta. I'm handing the microphone back to. Does that say Pretty Tammy the DJ? Yes, it does. And Beyonce kicks in, and the president is dancing.
Thank you, Enlightened.
This has just been I mean, you heard his.
Yeah, if you're gonna come in here calling me a hoe, you'll get fucking reported. Sure, I don't think anyone won. I mean, Biden didn't win for sure, but I also don't think Trump won. Like, I don't think you can win a debate if it's just based on just, like, spewing lies nonstop. So, CNN's having a meltdown right now? Good. Fucking CNN failed. CNN, such a fucking failure, dude. Can you block Naruto Slams, the flower one? They keep spamming. They just keep saying Trump repeatedly. I don't know what their, like, username is. It's like some sort of... I don't know. I think I would describe President Biden's, former President Trump's... He lied about a lot of shit, Jack. Number one, one of the first lies he said, he talked about, like, late-term abortions. He talked about babies at 9 months that are getting born and then aborted, aka just murdered. Like, that's not a thing. Stop lying. And Yamaha and Honda, can we block them for spamming? Guys, stop spamming the chat. I don't care. I don't care if you disagree with me, but stop spamming the chat. Robert Lockhart, let's block him. Please. Yamaha and Honda. You're spamming the chat, Yamaha. It is a lie, guys. It's a lie. Google it. What are your questions, Jim? I haven't seen any of your questions.
How did it affect, if at all, voters who tuned in and are still trying to make a
Stop
decision?
spamming, guys.
I'm glad what Chris says. Yes, sir. I didn't want to cut you off, but I just wanted to.
Is it enlightened? I'm glad you're enjoying it.
Because I do think, like,
I'm not blocking people who disagree with me, Tim. I'm blocking people who are spamming the chat by repeating the same thing. Ashton Cassidy, can we block them? They're spamming. Stop spamming, guys. I don't care. You can support Trump all you want. I don't give a shit. Just stop fucking spamming. Dem Boys 406, let's block them. Stop spamming. The Darkness, stop spamming.
Self-obsessed. You asked me about fentanyl. Let me tell you something about me.
Okay, the Darkness, that's the third or fourth time you've sent the same fucking thing. That's spamming. I'm not blocking people for disagreeing. We are blocking people for spamming. Let's block the Darkness, please. Thank you. Focus Clips, stop spamming. Block, please. Mods, just go ahead and block people who keep spamming, who keep repeating the same fucking things. Emmer J, Dr. James Talk, Focus clips.
Yes, which self-referential people.
Snipe. Let's just fucking. We're not deleting anyone who disagrees, Chris. I don't know how long you've been in here, but there's lots of Trump supporters in here who have not been blocked. But if you're gonna spam the chat, you will get blocked.
Egregious lack of fact checking, and I know it isn't the
Snipe. Let's block.
But he was allowed to say a series of lies that I know on our programs we're going to be playing a lot of it with a slew of fact checks.
Turbos is spamming for Biden. We can block them too. Let's block them. Stop spamming. I don't care who you're spamming for. Kimberly, Pedro, Nick Kennedy, just stop spamming. Turbos, stop spamming. No, not really. LAFC.
Nancy Pelosi desperately trying to get somebody to come to defend the Capitol because Trump won't. Because Trump sicked his mob of supporters on the Capitol.
Thank you, mods.
They came to the Capitol with weapons.
Thank you, Enlightened.
And Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer and other members of Congress.
I know, right, Asia?
Forces to come to the Capitol to defend it, despite the fact that Trump wasn't bringing them in.
And I'm going to give Biden one line he did get. When he said he had the morals of an alley cat, now that was an old guy move that
I know, Matlock.
That was like a thing that only old guys
Fucking
would say.
annoying.
You had the morals of an alley cat. He did get one good line, and somebody could Biden that.
Why do I look sad? Because today was a fucking disgrace. K-Do.
Because not a single one of us knows how the voters experience this. It was like
I am an immigrant, Jackie, and I think we're fucking great.
anything. And so, we could live or die by Pecker's description of the collision, right? But we had no idea what a single juror thought of it.
I know, Blends. That's the thing. Like,
We had no idea what the voters think. We'll start to see some polls. But an unpopular incumbent based on Kornacki's
okay, we can block Jackie. You're spamming, Jackie. When they repeat the comments, please just block them.
If the Biden campaign can launch a brutal and true and deserving.
Am I, Summer? Shit.
By the time the sun comes
Okay,
up,
let me see if this helps.
out more quickly. It doesn't erase the fact that there are conversations going on at the highest levels of Democratic.
Let's see if it gets a little better now. Uh-oh.
Close to this president who
Did
don't
I
just
freeze?
like him but love him, who think that they should seriously explore him getting out of the race and putting someone up at the convention. That is also happening.
That's true,
The
Asia.
campaign can do itself a lot of good by making a salient and powerful.
Hi, Caglio. Thank goodness. Did you have your date tonight?
In the morning, and that will go a long way toward washing this out of the cycle.
I know, it really is all about the optics, which is really fucking frustrating.
With whatever they've defined with that.
No, not third party. That's just gonna hand the election to fucking Trump, unfortunately. I don't like Biden, but Trump is a fucking menace.
But when we come back from the 4th of July weekend.
Oh, shit. Sorry, Summer. Is it good now, though?
Is one of those candidates who was out there tonight.
Oh, it's terrifying.
By a judge on July 11th.
Hard hitting, but
And we don't know how big a day that's going to be in the campaign in terms of what do the polls look like a week after that. So there are events coming up here that are uncontrollable. Like
yeah, I'm
the
vaccinated.
of Donald
Defer.
Trump. It's not going to be a good day. He might get a fundraising bump out of it in that perverse way that they do.
Good, Devontae. I'm glad you're enjoying it.
Who he needs to get to win, who he doesn't yet have, who he needs to get to win.
The issue that you're
Is it really a roast if it's all lies, T-Bone? That's really the question. I'm not even saying Biden won. He did not win. But, like, Trump just spewed fucking lies and run-on sentences, which I'm pretty sure most of you guys don't even know what that means.
I don't think that's an option. The fact that people are talking about it, if it's not an option, only seeks to further weaken the perception, weaken the standing of President Biden. The question is whether you're hearing.
I did earlier, Farmer. I'm not your
I mean, I spoke to
Googler.
an election lawyer. It is legal, and the way it happens is Joe Biden.
Jan 6 destroyed. He got asked about January 6th. He was like, you know what was going on January 6th? The borders were great. It's like, what? What? Answer the fucking question, dude.
People say it won't happen is because they think Joe Biden would never do it for the reasons Joy already articulated. He's the only person who beat Trump. And he believes, and he has some reason to believe this, that he's the only one who can.
And to amplify that, someone actually sent me the rules.
Yeah, Lynn. He just rambled on and avoided the actual questions.
This is not us saying that this is going to happen. No one is saying it's going to happen. It's very unlikely. But just to know
Said Charlottesville was a lie. Said like quotes of his were lies. Saying that people are killing babies after they're born. Like,
and that does not mean that those
fucking
will do anything.
insane.
It takes, if there are 3,000 delegates that happen on the first ballot, it takes 1,951 delegates.
Fingers.
I'm sorry, 1,976 delegates. It's all a numbers.
I mean, but yeah, but doing the math of it only matters if it's going to happen.
If it's going to
So the question is.
No, he wasn't, Karen. Don't lie. Let's block the misinformation, please. We also, that's another thing I block. If you're gonna come in here and just like straight up spread like weird misinformation, conspiracy theories, you will get blocked because I don't got time for that, dude.
Neither can I. You guys can't see it, but they're like all of Trump's shortlist VP nominees are walking around on the ground. Nobody wants to talk to them. It was like human piranhas.
He did do poorly tonight, Autumn.
At the end of this debate, Governor, let me just.
No, they don't. Literally, no states allow abortion after 9 months, and find me the legislation. If you're going to make a fucking claim like that, find me the legislation, and you won't. Let's block the misinformation. I'm not blocking and muting, like, the truth. I'm blocking spammers and people who are coming in here with weird fucking conspiracy theories, dude.
Have to deliver the child of the person that impregnated them.
So what? Debunk what? You don't think Charlottesville fucking happened, Josh? Why? Did someone take a picture of Charlottesville on a different day and be like, look, it didn't happen? There's plenty of fucking footage from Charlottesville.
The president's response was garbled and undirected at best. Do you feel like he did what he needed to on an issue that could motivate voters in the polls?
I think it's significantly insignificant because it's de minimis.
Jesse Sample, that's not happening. Stop lying, dude.
They don't support the policies of Donald Trump.
Where do you guys get your information? Like, Jesus, you must be fucking brain dead.
Always wanted this to be states' rights, which was laughable.
Why are you making... I don't know if you're genuine, if you're just, like, making that shit up because you're so desperate, or you genuinely believe that. Because if you genuinely believe that, it's just, ugh, God.
We have to keep our mind. So I think for all of us, worry less and do more. The opportunity to turn the page, we have the opportunity to put our heads down, we have the opportunity to universally have the back of this president who's had our back. You don't turn your back.
A better you? You're trying to get blocked? What are you saying? Probably just getting filtered. If you're trying to get blocked and you're not getting blocked, it's probably getting filtered. TikTok filters a lot of shit automatically. No, Duffer, of course not.
About whether Biden should step down. There is panic that has set in. There is panic that
Karen, studies show that liberals are more educated and have higher IQs than conservatives. So,
Well, I think it's unhelpful.
and be careful.
And I think it's unnecessary. We got to go in, we got to keep our heads high. And as I say,
Enlightened, how could you think that when all he did was ramble? Like, what point did he even actually make?
masterclass, 15.6 million jobs. That's 8 times
They are, Estelle.
Republican presidents combined. The only thing the last 3 Republican presidents had in common is recessions. Democrats delivered. This president has delivered. We need to deliver.
Cite my sources? Sure. Learn how to spell, Karen.
We start having these
By the way.
go down these rabbit holes. It's unhelpful.
Great name, by the way.
The future of this country.
Feels
They need us
apropos.
to step up, and that's exactly what
Do you know how to spell that word?
Not to belabor the point, but I mean, this was a Biden campaign strategy. This was their idea to do this debate now. And I wonder what you think they got out of it. What was Biden's strongest moment from this debate in your mind?
Well, again, back to the substance. He got stronger. He had more stamina over the debates.
Well, was there one moment that you think sticks?
It's difficult to assess. I need a little bit more objectivity and time away from this in the context of trying to pick those moments. But look, the bottom line is this was an opportunity to sort of distill the essence of what this campaign's about. You're hearing the messaging from the campaign distilled down what that key message is. Turn the page. Go to North Carolina tomorrow. We'll get that.
Pew Research Center has a study that shows that political divisions go, let's see, where are they going? What year is this? So more than half people with postgraduate experience have consistently liberal political values or mostly liberal political values?
In New York have questions for you, so we could go back to New York City, Rachel.
Hey, Governor Newsom, it's Rachel Maddow here. Thank you so much.
Fewer than half as many postgrads have either consistently conservative or mostly conservative values.
What do you think that people who support President Biden, people in Democratic politics, people who are planning on voting for him, who are worried?
Yeah, and then among adults who've completed college but not attended graduate school, 44% have consistently or mostly liberal political values, while only 29% have at least mostly conservative values.
What he has done and what he's done recently, what he's delivered, bipartisan,
There you go.
unprecedented legislation,
Proved it.
an infrastructure bill, the CHIPS and Science Act, the work that he's done across the spectrum.
Who do I support, Brandon? Not Trump.
And the vision he's laid out for the future.
Someone was mad because I spewed a fact and they didn't like that. Yeah, I'm looking it up. Someone asked me to cite the source. I cited the source. On average, conservatives are less educated.
Even harder. And Trump didn't make that better tonight because he continued the lies and the grievances.
Conspire in the Deb? What do you mean conspire? What, in the debate?
Moving forward. He's all about the past, American reverse. He wants to bring us back
Okay, Quentin.
to the 1960s world. Voting rights, civil rights, LGBTQ rights, women's rights, access to abortion, access to contraception.
Makes you better educated. Libidiousy.
On the ballot, democracy, the fate and future of this country, for that matter, alliances around the world. We need to
Block who, Hollywood?
what's at stake and not
I block spammers and misinfo.
it's always about tomorrow. Everything's about
I am worried, Autumn, yeah.
In terms of bucking up and not navel-gazing and moving forward.
They answer all the time, make way.
To advise the campaign how to turbocharge, how to kick up into another level. I do think they're going to have to make up ground they didn't previously.
Okay, Rancho.
Because of this debate performance. What can they do that they're not doing? Should they do the second debate in September? Should they change course in some of the ways that they are trying to communicate? I hear you making a very
I was citing a source for someone who asked for it, guys. I'm sorry that it hurt your feelings.
Well, I think you just double down on what we're doing. I'm about to 6 states across this country. I'm just doing my small part.
That don't agree with me? I'm not blocking people who don't agree with me. Hollywood. I'm blocking people who spam.
Clear contrast with Donald Trump and his performance tonight and his doubling down on lies and deceit. We have the opportunity to build the grassroots, to get people to recognize what's at stake if we don't unify as a Democratic Party. And again,
I know, right, Estelle? Are you guys even allowed on TikTok?
what to do.
Do your moms know that you're playing with your phones under the covers right now?
It's about action, it's about passion, it's about purpose, and it's about having the back of a president that's had our back.
Governor Newsom, it's Jen Psaki. I wanted to ask you, you've talked a lot about President Biden and his performance and his accomplishments. If voters out there could see one answer from Donald Trump tonight, or one moment that stuck out to you where you thought, people cannot elect this man, what would that be? I mean, what should people out there who have social media platforms who like President Biden be pushing out there that was damaging and terrible from Donald Trump tonight? The most.
The way he talks about immigrants offends me. I live in the most diverse state in the world's most diverse democracy. 27% of my state is foreign-born. It's not a question of tolerating that. We celebrate it. It's a point of pride. We practice pluralism. The way he talks about...
Do I even know what's going on? I know what's going on. Sorry, the chat is going by pretty fucking quickly. It's like hard to fucking keep up with you guys, honestly. I'm on a third-party app, and I've got Twitch, YouTube, and Kick chats going as well. All in one thing. Oh, boy.
We must have the back of the President of the United States, Joe Biden, at this critical moment, and focus on tomorrow, focus on the future, focus on the vision, a compelling vision.
Yeah, I know, Devontae. It's hard. It's fucking rough.
Falling short. Liberalism, illiberalism. Daylight, darkness.
Governor, I am sensing a frustration with the format of this debate, the reductivist nature of the debate, the sort of carnival-like atmosphere of the debate, and a desire to get back to the essence of the issues and the choice ahead for the American public. Having said that, there is another debate scheduled.
Yeah.
Do you think that Joe Biden should participate in it?
Absolutely.
CNN didn't do what it said it was going to do. CNN claimed that they would fact check, and they didn't. CNN fucking failed.
But it's not about debates. You have good moments, you have bad moments. You wake up the next day, you dust it off, and you move forward. It's all about resiliency. That's what the American people are about. That's what the American economy is about. That's what Joe Biden.
Don't spam.
Life. I've seen this over and over. This movie before. Oh, Joe Biden should pack it up in the primaries. He's got no chance after Iowa.
They didn't fact check anything, user.
Giving up, fighting for us.
Whole bunch of claims, no fucking fact checking.
Kids, our grandkids. So we've got to have his back in this respect. And yeah, I hope he does come back. And I hope he is back on the stage in another debate. Absolutely.
Well, if he is
Thank you, mods. The debate has ended, Mischief, yeah.
Thank you for your time tonight. We really very, very deeply appreciate it.
I mean, Biden was fact-checking, James. Biden was doing the job of CNN. He was fucking left fact-checking a bunch of claims, which is like...
Reaction to the debate, and what are you hearing from people you've been talking to over the course of the night?
Well, I've been listening to what you all have been saying, and I don't think we should sugarcoat this.
Stop lying, Eric.
Performance that the Biden campaign team wanted.
They didn't fact-check, Kyle. They just straight up didn't.
They wanted to do this debate as early as they did to change this up, right? To bring the Joe Biden who is at the State of the Union to the debate stage. That's not the Joe Biden who showed up at the debate stage. You could see inklings of that or wrinkles of that or whatever you want to say at the post-debate event, right?
In the very last answer of the debate, and all of a sudden it was like, oh, he's warmed up.
Yes, yes, and as you said, Rachel, he did improve as the night went on. His voice improved, his answers improved. He had a couple of moments. I thought his answer on calling out Trump's criminality was pretty good.
Kennedy one. Stop spamming, guys. Stop spamming. All right, let's block all these spammers. Jake R is spamming.
I think the biggest challenge for them, and Nicole's been talking about this a little bit, and we've sat in similar chairs, is how distracting all of the chat.
Billy Joe's spamming.
I'm getting, we're all getting on texts, on email, about whether he should be replaced.
If you keep sending the same message, guys, that's spamming. You will get blocked. I don't care what the message is. I've blocked people who kept saying Trump, and I've blocked people who kept saying Biden. If you keep saying the same fucking thing, you're spamming, and you will get blocked. Let's block Jake R, Andrew, Crazy Falcon 11.
I asked Joy a version of this too. Is the chatter from the peanut gallery, or is the chatter...
Andrew, I said, right? Itchy.
Depends on who deciders are, right? The deciders
Mods, are you still in here?
I have not heard that from
Guys.
operatives, but I have heard it from members of Congress. I have heard it from people who have worked many Democratic campaigns, who are working in interest groups, people along those lines.
Please do, Linda White.
Can he still be replaced, right? Now, is that chatter the same chatter? I think Lawrence made this point earlier this evening.
Troy, why you're spamming?
And if Joe Biden goes out and has a strong couple of weeks, it may not be.
Let's block Troy.
Incumbent upon the campaign to now dig out of this hole, and that's not where you want to be coming out of debate. I will also say I worked for President Obama in 2012 as his
Please block Troy. Stop spamming, Troy. Block me, Todd. Andrew's still here. Harrison McGee's still here. Still spamming.
When their back is against the wall, maybe he will bring his best self forward. And we saw that in the post event. That's what they need to do. But the distraction and the chatter is a headache for them. And
what would you, I mean, if you were like, you know, on the campaign now, and you have all this chatter, you're hearing what we're all hearing in our text, what do you think in the next 24 to 48 hours would you
Thank you, D. Grands.
Well, I think you've seen aides do this, and you saw Governor Newsom do this a tiny bit at the end. I mean, he said at the beginning.
No, Harrison, we're blocking spammers. If you're going to just send the same thing over and over, that's you're spamming, and you will get blocked. Let's block Harrison McGee. Or McGahee.
Right? I mean, he was great after. He was good at the State of the Union. It wasn't a good debate performance. You acknowledge that. You let people take a little air out of the balloon. You're not living in La La Land. It wasn't a great debate.
Who isn't, Greg?
Out there and active and doing a lot of events and being very visible, right? And Nicole said this earlier. The best thing you can do as a community.
The debate was a fucking shit show, KO.
Change the subject, right?
I think we all lost.
Announcement you can make. Is there a big surrogate? Is there a Republican who's a surprise? I mean, if Chris Christie is waiting in the wings to adore.
I'm not blocking everyone who disagrees, J. Carr. You'll note that there's a hell of a lot of people in here who disagree. We're blocking spammers. If you're just going to spam, you will get blocked. Spamming is repeating the same comment over and over again, Todd. If that's all you're doing, if you're just filling the chat with the same comment over and over, then That's
president
spam.
of the United States out if you won the debate, typically. So they are, I think, starting to think about.
We knew we were going to get the vice
Okay,
president.
well
We
then,
thought at least
I
we were going to
oppose
get the
that.
vice
I
president.
oppose that, but I do think that you'll see her out there more. I think you should see him out there more, and they need people like Governor Newsom and Gretchen Whitmer and Wes
Donnie C is spamming.
on the airwaves. That's what they need.
On the vice president question.
Can we block him? Daniel King is spamming. Let's block him.
Role of the vice president is to be the understudy in the case of the worst for the president, and so speaking with
W's for the mods, guys. Thank you so much. Daniel King is spamming still.
think about her replacing Joe Biden.
Well, that's interesting because I do think when people chatter about replacing him, they
Yeah, we block spammers, Suthia.
and they should. I mean, she's vice president. Of the United
No, Brady. Like, I'm not gonna block you unless you start spamming, Brady. You're welcome to like Trump in here.
I also think it's important for the campaign and for
I don't care.
the team to show that she is absolutely with him and has his back and believes
Thank you,
he has what it
Bingus.
takes to be president. So that outweighs the notion of she could replace him, I think, in there and how you weigh
I
it.
thought everything was a fucking shit show. Count. Spamming is repeating the same client. Todd, I thought you were blocked. I'm not just blocking Trump people, Kiki. I'm blocking people who spam, who keep repeating, which are mostly Trump people. I guess because you have nothing of substance to say. I don't know, DMK. Why would they spam?
He did not know that he bombed out against Romney?
He did not know he bombed out against Romney.
Wow.
David Plouffe, who was just on the air earlier, and David Axelrod, two of the closest advisors, were the ones who went and told him he bombed the debate.
I'm not, Kiki. You're still here.
A couple of days, and then he
Look at my comments. There's a shit ton of fucking Trump people in here that are not getting blocked.
best performances at a rally the next day in Colorado that he gave the entire year because again they're competitive people. I would say in this moment it is probably a combination of Mike Donnellan and Steve Ricchetti perhaps, Ron Klain of course, who are conveying directly to him how that debate performance went and where it goes from here.
Doing the debate this early was a campaign idea or was it his idea?
You brought your L?
Campaign idea that he would have to have signed off on.
I gotta say, I am not convinced, and I know you're gonna
Stop
disagree with
spamming,
this,
Brit.
I'm not convinced that it was a bad idea.
Stop
to do
spamming,
the
Brit.
debate this early, because part of the calculus there is let's not look like we're afraid to debate, and let's debate really early. So if it goes really badly, a lot more water will be under the bridge by the time anybody has to make any sort of decision based on this. I mean, having this debate in June is way better.
I think she was banned, Owen.
No, and I agree with you. I thought it was a good
Yeah, you are, Brit. If you're just gonna send the same thing twice, that's spam.
Biden faced from his own
Or, I guess, 3 times and
with
stuff.
him, but want to feel confident is the stamina question. So I think
My definition of spamming is sending the same message over and over and over again.
July 4th kind of timing vibe, it made logical sense. The problem is they didn't deliver. I mean, I think had he delivered and actually delivered a vigorous, even just a decent delivery.
Lifelong Biden supporter. Sure, NATO.
A very smart idea, but I think some of the decisions around it, I think putting him on the right, I still will maintain. I know it seems like a small thing.
Because it just fills the chat up with spam, Kiki.
Should have put him on the left so he would look like he was looking
A lot of people care.
Trump instead of looking out, into the distance.
Or told him to just look the other direction. I mean, they knew where the cameras were.
And they knew where the cameras were supposed to be. And again, Donald Trump is a television performer. He is not.
I do have an education, Funkmeister.
He didn't age when he was president because he wasn't
Exactly.
president. He was on the golf
Delirious.
course all the time, right? So, but he knows TV. He knows where the red light is. He knows where the camera is. He knows how to perform.
I know, right, Nick? That's the thing. It's like such a waste of fucking time. Like, I would rather just have a conversation. But for some reason, all I have is just Trump people in here whining about other spammers getting fucking blocked, even though you're all still in here. Please block Brush Hog Billy for spamming.
Fascinating stuff at the top of
Like,
the hour because this is my panel right here. We are in the backyard in Maricopa County here in Arizona, and after we were done watching the debate, you're over here, the TVs are over here. They don't have IFBs in, and so as You all were talking about the possibility of somebody else other than Biden running on the Democratic ticket or possibly an open convention. They were talking about the same thing, and they are completely removed from these spin rooms and everything that's happening over there in Atlanta right now. It's just really interesting to hear you all talk about that, to hear you all talk about that, all at the same time. So,
Thank you, Naz. Just block the spammers.
Your perspective
I'm so over
and
it.
whether or not it changed, but when we set this up, we were talking about double haters, the people that don't like either candidate. How would you describe both candidates after tonight? Starting with you.
Oh, so Trump, he didn't really
Ay,
answer
ay, ay.
questions. He just kept rebuttaling what Biden said.
I know, right?
Bringing up something that has nothing to do with the question. Biden, he was.
We all lost, Noah.
He also was trying to rebuttal Trump as well when he was, coming at him about things that has nothing to do with the question, like, golfing or things like that.
Yeah, I saw Joe. I saw you get pretty heated when they started talking about that.
Because why are you talking about golfing? This is a political debate about presidency and how are you going to be in office? How is it going to be? And are you talking about golfing right now? And who has the better swing? Yeah, that's what I wanted to tune out.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Wow.
And Jeff, you're not a Democrat, and yet you're talking about who else can the Democrats run right now. Right? Tell me a little bit about what you're thinking.
So I think what we just witnessed was, the feeling I had inside was Trump, hell no. He
Trump is bad reality TV,
and Biden
Asia.
is like, oh no, he is
It did.
really in a bad shape. And can he even run in the rest of the election or take the White House again? You just don't see.
I agree, Bolivia.
Maybe an open convention is
open convention. The Democrats and Europe. You're a McCain Republican here in Arizona.
Everyone lost.
Do you vote for
Apple.
somebody else that runs on the
It was
Democratic
bad.
ticket?
If they're not liars and cheats, yeah, it's a tough choice, and I think you said it best. But yeah, I mean, Trump is an absolute no. He's a liar and a thief and a rapist and all those other.
I know, speaking my mind. It was so infuriating. Never got
At least Biden,
fact checked.
He seems like an honorable and honest guy, but I don't think he's got the stamina.
And I mean, Denise, you just made an
Yep,
observation
TMS.
when Biden popped up. Can you share with us your observation there?
Well, it was interesting before this started, we had talked about who's going to show up today. Which Biden is going to show up, which Trump is going to show up. Is it going to be a circus? Is it going to be...
No fact checking. They fucking failed. CNN was fucking failed that.
He's got that orange skin and he had that silly smile and he moves his hands like this and I want to put a set of tambourines in me.
Right, I gotta get to sleep soon.
Because he pats himself on the back so much. And here's Biden, unfortunately, poor thing, who he would talk...
We've said it repeatedly, Fry.
Here I am and I'm elected
Fritz.
and I'm going to go do this and then I'm over.
We've said it repeatedly. And if, while the debate was live, we were fact checking him actively because CNN wasn't.
Nicole, how do you categorize this choice?
It's like Sophie's choice, but reverse. I don't want to.
I lost faith in CNN a long time ago, Christopher. Where the fuck have you been?
Trump acted like Trump, Biden acted like Biden, and that's why I'm frustrated with where we are today.
Now, you're all talking about open conventions. I don't think any of you are Democrats, card-carrying Democrats.
Trump is terrible, Bruce. Get over it.
How do you all feel about RFK Jr.? Anybody?
I don't know, silly boys. Honestly, I'm trying to get to sleep. I'm gonna go to sleep soon, guys. I kind of would just love for the algo to stop sending me Trump people so that the next time I'm live I don't have a bunch of whiny little bitches on here again.
And Denise?
I don't think he's fit for this job of president. I think he did a fine job on the state level. I think he's good at doing other things, but he's just not good enough for president.
How about you?
I mean, I look at who we have right now, and there's just lacking in leadership. Both of them poor leadership. So for me to consider somebody else, that's what I'm looking at. I'm looking at leadership characteristics.
Now there is something that we've been talking
Of course I need sleep. I have a job, Paul. What about you?
Do
you know what that's like?
But it's the idea of I don't like any of these candidates, so I may not vote, but I'm scared of people saying, no, you have to vote, and that seems to be a real concern. Are you guys
Block Bruce Bigelow.
Starting with you, Nicole, Is there a possibility that you just don't vote?
Right now, absolutely.
Jim, if your comments are getting blocked, it's TikTok that's blocking them. So you're saying something in there.
It's your American right, your due diligence, and if you don't vote, then you're voting for the other person, and all of this that really had my husband and I prayerfully considering, like, who do we vote for? And with the two choices we have now, we don't vote for them, and
Thank you, Caglio.
I'm more confident not voting for either of them than I can trying to do. I did the lesser of two evils last time, and January 6th happened. I cannot and will not do it again.
Actually, when we were watching the debate, every time January 6th came up, I saw you all lean forward. When they started talking about January 6th tonight, what went through your minds, starting with you?
Caglio, you can block it, Will, however you want. You can do it your way now. I'm tired.
Former President Trump needs to take accountability for his part in this as well. I just can't even.
Really, Devontae?
Because it just wows me so much that our country and our public buildings.
Feel free to go into Caglio mode, guys.
Keep saying that his
I'm
was stolen from him.
tired.
It wasn't stolen. He was ousted from office. His 4-year job as contractor for the American people, he was fired, and he needed to go. And he did not go quietly.
I don't know, Elizabeth. I'm having an issue with my comments showing up on TikTok Studio. TikTok Live Studio. Something's going on. I have to use a third-party app to read the comments.
You just kept sitting back when you heard the questions.
The main thing that was bothering me the most was when Biden was speaking about it, he was just saying, oh, it's only affecting black people.
No, there's something. I think the app is just like updating. I think it's just they're rolling out like different updates and shit. And it gets weird.
He didn't answer the question at all. He just started talking about
I just got
something
an
else that
alert.
had nothing to do with the question. And even the moderator had to bring him back, like, hey.
Uh-oh.
So it's just like, I don't like how they're not giving us any solutions. I thought the debate was for solutions. Like, this is what I'm.
All right, I'm getting content alerts. I can't keep showing the thing. Oops.
Policies in mind, and I know Biden does, but I don't think how's he going to execute those policies if he returns to office? It's just open convention.
Open convention, and again, this is coming from non-Democrats talking about open
Shit.
convention. One of the other things that I thought was really important, a lot of times when people are watching politics, they think everybody in the world is watching
I gotta
politics.
turn this down.
3 of you said something I thought was fascinating. The truth is, how many here would
I just got fucking. What's up, Enlighten? Yeah, I'm just getting tired. Ay, ay, ay. And I feel like someone sent up the chat signal because all I have are Trump voters in here now. Let's fix that. I'm bored now. Boys, do your thing. Yes, the chat signal. Nas. Actually, no, user. He did not do great. He did embarrass himself. It was fucking awful. That doesn't mean Trump is in any way good or worth voting for. Let's do it. Go for it, boys. Work your magic. Have fun. I gotta get to sleep soon. I got a big thing happening tomorrow morning.
She wanted to put symbols between his hands so they would like a monkey doing the wind-up monkey thing.
Thanks for all the follows and the gifts tonight, guys. I appreciate you. Another protest enlightened. There's a big one though. It's gonna be big. It's gonna be fun, I think. There's gonna be a drum line and a brass band and stuff. It's gonna be fucking awesome. The debate did end, Ari, yes. I bet it's tiny user. On any video? Shit. I can't see, so I have to use a third-party app to see the comments on my live. They're not showing up for me on my live stream. It's really fucking annoying.
He's going to go with Joe Biden no matter what Joe Biden's stamina level is in November, and he's just going to hope. And in the meantime, one of the educational programs of the campaign, might be for him in particular. Look at how much Joe Biden has achieved with a weak voice in his 80s. He can still do that. Maybe there's a campaign here to stress the importance of staff to actually admit that the president doesn't do it alone. For a voter like that, to understand that this is a possible vote he can cast. But man, that was there was no one there saying that okay, that's the absolute end of.
Oh, I got some fucking interesting messages I didn't see before. Whoops. All right, sorry. No enlightened, but my neighbor's coming. I think I can see. Sorry, I opened up my TikTok on my phone and I got a bunch of fucking messages that were interesting. Let's see if I just open a video and app. I'm seeing comments on videos, on TikToks. Kat, you may have to like restart your phone, as others are saying. I'm seeing comments on videos. Not loading? Yeah, a lot of people are saying that they're having issues. I don't know what to do, guys. Sorry. This is annoying. Nick Miller. Always wins debates. Is it? My comments on my live streams have been broken for a few days now. And I've been reporting it every time I finish the live stream. They're like, how'd it go? And I'm like, badly, poorly. But they haven't fixed it yet. Yeah, that's what people are saying. See, but for me, it's been on. I can see comments on videos. Let me see. Yeah, I'm seeing comments on videos. Oh my God. Watching Yuval and Ayami's like latest video. Is anyone else following this drama? I'm seeing comments. Yeah, it might be. I mean, they like... Yeah, FYP. No, I don't think so, Lalo or Laylo. But yeah, comments on my live have been broken for a while. And before that, my dual cam was broken on my live for a few days. It was really fucking annoying. They kept like turning on my dual cam, and I couldn't turn it off. And so I had to put a Post-it over my back camera. And yeah, eventually they fixed it, but I am Cagley. It's great. Sorry, Brady. Rumble, really? I just heard of Rumble recently. What is Rumble?
I was so excited to buy my first home, but I needed a lot of work done on it. I went on to Angie. Davey was the first person to call.
Should I be on Rumble, Caglio?
He's resurfaced my flooring. He's done plumbing work. He's refinished.
America lost tonight. Yes, squids. It's like YouTube. Is it a cesspool?
Certified pros in over 500 categories, Angie can connect you with the right pro for any home project. Find top-rated certified pros in your area at Angie.com.
Hi, God. On YouTube.
You're not gonna get it all right. Just make sure you nail the big stuff. Like making sure your kids are in the right seat for their age and size. Get it right at nhtsa.gov/the-right seat.
When it comes to gifts,
The-
Penny goes the distance.
Oh, it was another story. It was fucking awful. Everyone lost. America lost.
Cousin Carl with this. And your first cousin twice.
And Devontae, I will absolutely bake you cookies for all of this work. Hey guys, W's in the chat for mods. Thank you, mods. Thank you, mods. I'm sorry I can't help, dudes. And enlightened as well. I will bake you cookies as well. And you too, Caglio.
Keep families together. Pets and people belong together. Learn more at petsandpeopletogether.org.
I never got a college degree. Now I'm the CEO of my own company. People want to tell me I'm the one that
I don't know, Brady. And for Nas. Jon Stewart for president. Yes. I agree. Thank you for the gifts tonight, guys. Mods get cookies for all the work tonight. You're not allergic to Godosinas enlightened. Do you want me to make you protein cookies? Sugar-free protein cookies? It was horrifying, Bradley. Tonight was horrifying. Alright, I do gotta wake up early. Guys, thank you so much. I gotta get my ass to sleep. Speaking of protein. This is such a shame. I can't have little protein bars here because I mean I need protein bars so that I can take them when I'm like filming these protests because I like need a snack. Otherwise I'll faint. And whatever. But I can't keep them in the house because I'll just eat them. I'll just fucking snack on them. I agree. Please.
If you or your family are noticing changes, it could be Alzheimer's. Talk about seeing a doctor together.
You're not gonna get it all right. Just make sure you nail the big stuff. Like making sure your kids are in the right seats for their age and size. Get it right at nhtsa.gov/the-right seat.
I agree, Bradley.
The crimes you are still charged with, and think of all the stuff haven't you? How many millions of
Why would Michelle?
for molesting a woman in public, or doing a whole range of things, of having sex with a porn star on a night, sex with a porn star.
Indelible line from tonight's debate. Also, nodding along with all of the other things that he did. And then the only one that he's rebutting is, I did have to actually.
I would love that, Bradley.
Is the one in which we have an extensive factual record spoken under oath in criminal court very recently, and the transcripts are available. And so that denial is not a very credible denial, and he's not denying any of the other things for which he has criminal and civil liability.
And what we just saw there that's so important is, you saw how long it takes to show. That's what local TV news needs from a presidential debate. They need little clips like that. That will probably be the clip that is played in more local TV coverage than anything else.
Absolutely. Joining us now, I'm honored to say, is the Vice President of the United States, Kamala Harris. Madam Vice President, we're really honored to have some time with you tonight. Thank you so much for being with us.
Of course, good to be with you, Rachel, and everyone. Thank you.
So you have been hearing some of the response to the debate, the same response that we have been both issuing and also hearing ourselves. I think a lot of people who are fans and supporters of President Biden or who are
Tamales are the best protein bars.
the prospect of Donald Trump returning to the presidency feel
Like
this was not a
tamales, or is there a protein bar called tamales?
I want to hear your assessment and how do you respond to those critics?
It was a slow start, there's no question about that, but I thought it was a strong finish, and in particular because what we know is that when you look at the two sides of the ledger, what we had in Joe Biden is someone who wanted to have a debate based on facts, based on truth, and in Donald Trump we had what we have come to expect, which is someone who is going to push lies and distract from the reality of the damage he has created and continues to create in our country. When I think about the significance of the substance of what is before us in November.
Oh, it's over.
30 days, we are looking at a president in Joe Biden who has done
Enlighten says tamales are pure carbs.
the infrastructure issue in America. Donald Trump, remember, kept talking every week was going to be an infrastructure week. It never happened. It was Joe Biden that made it happen so that over $1 trillion is hitting the streets of America to upgrade roads and bridges. You look at what Joe Biden has been able to accomplish in terms of delivering for the American people, whether it be the creation of 15 million new jobs, over 800,000 manufacturing jobs, bringing manufacturing back to the United States, what we have done to cap the cost of insulin at $35 a month, finally taking on big pharma and allowing Medicare to negotiate drug prices. These are the substantive issues that the American people care about, and what we saw tonight is more of the same. Joe Biden fighting for the American people, Donald Trump fighting for himself. Not to mention on the issue
You have to work too, Caglio? Yeah.
there's a very clear contrast.
I thought you worked Mondays through Wednesdays, Caglio.
When the bill comes before him to put back in law the protections of Roe v. Wade, he'll sign it. What we know about Donald Trump, no matter how much he's trying to distract us from this, is when he was president, he hand-selected 3 members of the United States Supreme Court with the intention they would undo the protections of Roe. That's exactly what they did. And now we see it, case after case, state after state, laws designed to
Wow.
punish healthcare
Okay.
providers in Texas, provide prison for life for doctors. Women who are having
The debate is over, Samuel.
because
Kamala is talking to pundits now.
be explicit about the facts because of laws that are denying them emergency care because hospitals
That's
are
fair,
afraid they're
Caglio.
gonna be
Yeah.
criminalized for doing that. And all of these bans are Trump abortion bans.
Who's he?
About how he wants to send
Rachel Maddow?
back to the states. And we know what those arguments are about.
Wait, really, Devontae? Who was the debate between? Who did he debate? The worm?
Tonight in this debate.
You know, the issue of former President Trump lying came to the fore on this issue of choice, on this issue of abortion rights, in a very pointed way. He kept asserting over and over again that if you are pro-abortion rights or if you want to codify Roe or if you are a critic of the decision to overturn Roe and have these abortion bans, then you
I was just eating a protein bar.
want to kill infants, and that what people who are pro-choice are people who want to kill babies after they are born. And I sometimes say this is Earth 2. This is not a factually based thing at all. But he repeatedly reiterates that. It's not the moderator's job, though, to fact check that. It's essentially the other candidate's job to fact check that. I wonder what your thoughts are in terms of countering a counter narrative
add to your point, Rachel. First of all, what they are talking about is they are attempting to, as they are wont to do, especially Donald Trump, create fear based on fiction, for the sake of getting and hitting at political points. What we know and what he is acutely aware of is what he has done and intended to do is not politically popular with a lot of people in both so-called red states and blue states. And so now you see him wavering. Let's not forget, when he was president of the United States, he said that if a national abortion ban was sent to his desk, he would sign it. He said that. As Maya Angelou told us
Okay.
a long time ago, when people tell you who they are,
Burger and a milkshake. Oh my god, I would murder a burger and a milkshake right now. From where? In-N-Out?
one of the most fundamental issues of our time. Fundamental. The idea that the government would take the ability of an individual to make decisions about their own body and replace their good judgment with that of the government. That's what's happened in our
I want one.
3 days ago. We just commemorated the 2-year.
If I fly to LA, will you take me to In-N-Out?
And we're woman after woman. I mean, who I have traveled with.
I know.
Have faced extraordinary experiences of the miscarriage.
Shit, I don't know if I have anything for breakfast tomorrow.
To have children in the future,
I gotta get up early. All right. You'll mail me one, really?
afraid they could be put in jail for doing the job of
Oh
caring
my
for
god.
these women. So I think that what Donald Trump is doing is grasping for straws. And look, they're only of the 2 people on that debate stage.
Woo! Video I directed just went live, I think.
And let's not forget that.
Or it's about to. It's supposed to be released at midnight. All right. My mods are going to sleep. I'm gonna go to sleep. I'll eat it anyway. Thank you guys. Thank you guys. Thank you, mods. Thank you so much for helping tonight. Not just helping, for handling tonight. For handling everything. I appreciate you guys. You know, could not do this without you. Quite literally. These days. It's okay, Caglio. Thank you guys. Sorry that I texted you guys in a panic. I really appreciate you. Cookies for everyone at some point. Figure out how to make that happen. Wish me luck for tomorrow morning. And it won't be a riot, enlightened. Protein cookies. Yeah. Gross cookies. All right. Wait.